electric vehicles, the pollution and what the cost of producing these batteries from China, mind you,
It's
for our
propaganda. It's all
vehicles,
bullshit, man.
it is all bullshit. And this whole climate change is just to tax us more so that we can't afford to move around. I mean, it's all connected, and it sounds crazy until you take the time to really look and start seeing how one issue affects the other and affects the other, and it's all directly related. But yeah, the CO2 stuff, it's all crap. It's not true. It's pollution and habitat destruction, a lot of that.
Wait,
Okay,
that's still
but
anthropogenic climate change, though. Pollution and habitat destruction are
Basically,
something that humans do. Anthropogenic climate change just refers to human-caused climate change. So what you're saying is that humans cause climate
isn't that
change in
what
other
the whole
ways that
climate
are
change
independent from
theory is
CO2
based
increasing,
on?
which I
Yeah,
agree.
but you're trying to
So what the whole
mush everything together, and that when you
isn't that
use
what
Well,
it
wait, yeah,
based
yeah,
on?
system.
Is
It has
yeah,
to
human
be
because
thought of
humans
activity?
cause
together.
climate change. There's multiple ways that we do it. Of course.
If you
That's
start
Yeah, but it's
cutting down all
not.
the trees in a place that sucks up the CO2, that affects the
Yeah,
CO2 level in the atmosphere.
I get that, but there is no such thing as like this climate change, and the whole world's gonna burn up, and
Wait, so
Well,
that's just
what
going to
was it?
entail a
not true.
contradiction then, because you just
Can I
said that humans
ask?
Everyone here speaks
cause
Spanish.
climate change, and now you're
Can
saying
I
that they
I'm
don't.
saying
can
that
I
the
ask
reason
the
why that
question?
we're
Can I
seeing
ask the
loss of
question?
loss of life,
How
whether
are
it be
we?
animal or plant, is because of pollution, not because there's a rise in carbon dioxide.
Can I ask? How are we determining what climate change is? Because like when I think of climate change, I think of ice caps melting, and water rising, and
Thanks, Al
oh,
Gore.
the
You think the same
ozone.
thing as all
Hold
of us.
on, like the ozone opening up over Africa or some crazy shit. Like
Not
that's
over
what I'm
Africa.
It's the
thinking.
United
things that
States.
humans
Is
cause
it
that
even
wouldn't be
true?
considered part of the natural world without us being here, basically.
Okay,
It's
and
how we
bones,
affect the
Oh,
world,
that's climate
bones of
change
right?
duck
is
is
much more
I mean,
than
that's,
that.
I mean,
It's
sure,
all
but that's like the
bullshit.
essence
It's
of
pardon,
it
all
to me. It's
pardon
like
bullshit.
me.
the
Thank
things
you.
that
I
we
know
No,
cause.
everyone can hear
What?
me, right? Like I'm not retarded here. Everyone can hear my voice because I have tried talking multiple times in the last 5 minutes and I keep getting talked over. And we all know that I shut up for the most part,
Effigy.
but when I do have one little thing, that's your time to shut up. So everyone can hear me, correct? I'm coming in loud and clear. It's not light. I don't need to turn my volume up any higher. Okay, let's not learn a hard lesson tonight on what pisses Sarah off. Bones, Duck is backstage. I wouldn't go very far, Bones, because Duck usually doesn't make it very long. Okay, but
Wait,
hang
but
backstage.
Zach put $50 in, so wouldn't that just be that you need like $60 to get him out? Damn.
Bring them up and
Uh,
Well, I
drop
tried.
bones.
well, yes, you are right.
All right.
Actually,
Well,
but that doesn't mean somebody else can't be booted. They could pay 10.
well, of
See, here we
course.
go.
I just need time
The
to both piss and
Chuck,
get soda and bitters.
yeah, take your time. And Andrew, you have your seats being taken as well, so you're getting kicked to the back. It's because Chuck wants to come up, and this moves quickly. All right, people come and go very quickly backstage, so I wouldn't worry
What did
about
I
sitting back
do?
there too
I haven't
long.
even said anything yet.
That's
That's
probably
right.
why he booted you. All right, you two are going back. Yeah, usually panel
All
squatters
right,
get booted,
I'll be
and
back.
avatars are always the first hit. If you are an avatar, just know we pick on you
All right.
first. All right, so Duck, you officially have a $50 credit before you can get
Yeah,
booted
I will be
again.
back if anything happens.
Say thank
So
you, Kazak.
yes.
Sweet.
And Texas Bully Mom says everybody
I'm
was
taking
ready
this
for
cup
this
with me,
Funky Friday
but
stream. Glad to see so many panelists popping up. Sarah put my $10 credit towards bringing up Duck. Duck, you now have a $60 credit, sir.
Damn.
Chuck in Tennessee said, fuck this. I want a seat. I'm tired of waiting backstage. I need a spot. Sarah's boss by Andrew. Andrew, you are tucked away in the back for now until somebody else gets booted. The current order backstage is Bones of Doom, Andrew, and Osveron has just popped on. Fourth Wiseman and with the Big Ten says,
I love everyone.
if you're concerned about environmental change, SpaceX mini sats, I guess satellites, burn up on re-entry, releasing 30 kilograms per 66 pounds of aluminum oxides. Thousands of tons will screw the atmosphere in 15 years' time. Fact. Anybody have thoughts to add to this? That's a pretty interesting piece.
Elon Musk is just a bad
Oh,
guy,
shit, I
right?
need
Like
to-
Elon Musk, I think
need
he
to change the
pretended
name of
like he
this
cared about the
stream real quick.
environment, and then we realized later he really just wanted Donald Trump's permission to let him go compete in China and sell more EVs. So whatever. I loved millennials, people like me. I loved Elon Musk, man. It makes me so sad to see it, but
Anyways,
I'm not
BRB.
surprised. Like I don't know the actual science, if that's accurate, if it's 1% accurate, if it's 100% accurate or inaccurate. But yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised.
So, Duck,
Well,
pretty much what you're saying is all that global warming shit is for the birds.
I wouldn't worry too much about it
The
because
opposite,
Elon Musk
No
and
way. No way.
Bezos, they're going to
No,
be
dude, I'm
using.
insane about that stuff.
They're going to
Well,
be
how
using.
come we're still alive right now? Because apparently, when it comes to global warming and all that stuff, we should be like sucking air like fish out of the water right now.
They're going to
And
be
we're
using
not.
the carbon dioxide, the extra carbon
Time
dioxide.
scale,
as
man. It's not a
fuel.
short-term problem.
Oh, well, that's not what Al Gore and the Dems said back, 20 years ago?
It sort
It
of
goes
is.
way back, way
bro.
further. This is
They
we've
just
been studying this since the 1950s.
really
dude.
screwed up the time
Okay,
scale.
and well, obviously,
And to be
elaborate. What do
honest,
you mean
what
you've
they're
been
trying to
studying
do
this since
is warn you about the
1950s with
future, the
global
far
warming?
future, not just
Yeah.
like recent events and occurrences. The recent events and occurrences are
no,
the
it hasn't been
problem
since the
that they're
50s,
trying to
bro.
give you a
Stop.
prediction of, but they go too far. They use too bombastic a language. It's not as
Has it
intense
been?
as they say it is in effect, because it's like a snowball that rolls up and gets bigger and worse as the process goes along. It's
I
called
mean,
a
it's
self.
the opposite of that. It's the opposite of that. It's broken international government in like all around the world, right? Like there's places in Africa that literally don't have any avenues to go to fix like social problems. If you didn't have water, Squatch, what would you actually do if you don't have water?
Live in
You
the
don't know
swamp,
if you're gonna
bro.
have water next year, dude.
Duck, you can't come at me with the African problems. You can't do that.
Yeah, because that's what
Dude,
it's not an African problem. It's a global. It's
I
like
mean-
100% a global warming problem. And so when you actually track this to human events, right? You track this to factories or whatever it is. I mean, like, are you seriously asking people to, like, you instead of
Show me
like
proof
not
that-
being an
that-
extremist, but do you understand that we could be talking about productive solutions or something instead of this?
Well, we
They
have a
don't
good
know
solution.
what's
So
going on.
Sarah, did my
show
last
me
super chat go
proof,
through?
Duck.
Yeah, I got it.
that-
I'm just
Okay.
waiting for
Fine.
Azroon
Hold on.
to. Azroon, Chuck
Oh,
wants to bring you up, but he says you need to pick who you would like to boot for your seat.
Is Duck immune?
Don't
And I
boot me,
screwed up the
because-
spelling of his name.
Duck has a $60 credit, so
Duck didn't follow up with his end of the bargain by getting a kazoo, so he should be bootable until he gets a kazoo.
And I
He's
love
only
arguing.
allowed. He's only allowed up because Kazak paid for him to be up.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
because I
he
love
would've been
arguing with them.
I worked.
Because
You
Duck
guys
is
are
always
talking about
wrong, 'cause he's
gases and all that. I worked at a steel mill, and we spent millions. I mean, millions of dollars. Because I can remember when I first. Go ahead.
Chuck,
What?
as I knew Azrun was not gonna. He's too kind. You're gonna have to pick someone to boot.
I got to pick. Oh, Jesus Christ. Make me the bad guy. Eeny, meeny, miny, and mo.
Oh,
Efferon. Effigy. Whatever his name is. Effigy.
All right. Effigy to the back.
Efferon.
You go.
I thought it said
no.
K8.
I love
What the
Asperoon.
fuck? Maybe I'm retarded. I don't know.
As Varun, I'd like to issue the only apology I've ever issued from a roast. You had no idea what was going on Monday.
Well.
None of that should have happened to you, sir.
I-
You were an innocent soul.
He's almost the
actually
nicest guy I
reviewed-
know.
We reviewed that short last night. Samuel sends in the big 20. Says climates change all on their own. A static climate is a dead climate. Ooh. Any thoughts on that?
Balance. Nature seeks balance. If it gets too hot over
I love
here,
all
it'll
these
get cool-
fucking empty
cold over there
platitudes.
to
I love
balance it
empty
out.
platitudes.
It's not always that simple. Does that
Stop.
mean that
Oh
it's
my
not
God.
going to be really, really damaged
I'm gonna
over here where you're
fucking
polluting the hell out of your land?
Shoot myself.
It's
Did
gonna.
you
but-
see
In
the?
Minecraft.
Did you see the latest study where plankton is the result of causes ice ages? They absorb the CO2.
Yes, I knew they do that.
This is such a deeply it's so hard to have the conversation about this because we're talking about so many variables that are being
Yep.
altered
This
simultaneously.
is actually very simple.
Like when you strip cut a place in Alabama, it changes the amount.
So the reason I've muted the panel on streams end, but the reason why this is actually not that simple is because we know that humans do climate change. Like this science is fucking unequivocal about this. This is one of the most like solid fucking stances you could take, is that anthropogenic climate change is true. The complicated part is to the degree at which how much there is an effect. And that's with like CO2, that's with like deforestation, that's with like habitat destruction, that's with like opening up the earth, burning materials, et cetera, like nitrates.
Lower and densifies remainder,
is
not allowing
complete
proper
nonsense.
filtration permeation to occur. Who the fuck can translate that for me?
I disagree.
Burnham will translate that because he's a Indian genius.
What the
I'm
fuck?
not a genius. I have many flaws in me, but I'll try to
Shut
answer
up,
this
you're a
global
genius.
warming theory.
Go ahead, Azrun.
Oh my god.
No, regarding global warming,
I'm gonna shoot
there
myself.
was a scientist actually called John Coleman. He was on Fox News, and he was a scientist. He knew about the weather very well. So John Coleman, he gave a
Hey, wait, I can
history
put myself
about
up there.
global warming as to how it was created and how Al Gore used it to manipulate things so that he could sell his pollution-free technology for a lot of money.
on.
So what happened was that there was a scientist called Roger Rivelli. Roger Rivelli was an oceanographer. He used to also study the effects of population increase on the environment. So he actually like came up with this theory. Like he said that the population increase of human beings will lead to the damage of environment by the release of fossil fuels in gaseous form into the atmosphere. Like he was talking about carbon dioxide and the impact of human population. Then what happened was that Al Gore, who heard this in college, became fascinated with this theory and started propagating it. But he was not a science student, Al Gore. He was more into commerce. So then what happened was that Roger Rivelli, somewhere in the 2000s, he said that he made a mistake with regards to global warming. He was the one who created global warming as a theory, and then he made a mistake. He started speaking against it. I might have been wrong about this whole thing. As far as global warming is concerned, there's been no scientific evidence presented in the UN, but it's been more of a political issue. That's what he said. And then Al Gore ditched Roger Rivelli, saying that because of old age, he's become senile. So even I too don't actually know whether to believe in global warming or not, because the man who started this theory is now speaking against it, but he's passed away right now. And like he actually gave some good points as to why it may not be true. So we don't know whether global warming is true or not. And Al Gore said that the polar bears are going to become extinct in the Arctic and the Antarctic poles. But then what happened was that when he went to actually like take a picture of one of the polar bears, he thought that Al Gore and his crew were food. It came rushing towards him. He took the photo and he lied, saying that they're going to become extinct. But the population of the polar bears has actually increased, they say, in the Arctic and Antarctic poles. So we don't know actually. Like global warming it's hanging on a thread, to be honest.
Okay.
There's no polar bears in Antarctica.
Wow, that's
Who
a big
here
claim.
actually followed that? Who here actually heard all that?
I heard it.
John Coleman is a scientist. He used to be a scientist in Fox News. When he retired, then he actually made this whole thing. Actually, he showed how global warming came into existence. John Coleman, he also passed away. I've seen many of his shows.
I'm gonna mute on my end again. This is
global warming may be false. It may be more political rather than
there we go. This is better.
because
This is better.
the evidence
Holy shit.
against global warming was also pretty strong in his views.
Evidence
So even I'm a bit
against?
confused right now, actually.
All right,
Well, that's like
No,
everybody,
you
hold
are
on
correct.
for a
That's absolutely correct.
second.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct.
Kazak, do you have anything you wanted to do with this 20? Are you booting anyone?
Well, if I can, I don't want to. I don't want to boot Afrin. I like him, even though he is very long-winded. I'll give
I
it to
can step
you.
out for a while.
I'll
Are you
give
talking
it.
about Asvarun? No, you're fine, Etta. You
No,
don't
no.
leave until you get
I'll
booted.
give it to you, Sarah. You pick someone.
Oh shit.
I
That's
never okay.
bullshit. That's
Mrs.
bullshit.
Mrs. Balderson, who would you like to boot from the
All
panel?
right, all right. Ida.
Actually, I was just gonna say you can feel free to put me in the back for the moment. I need to get
Ooh.
up and change a little.
I'm
dinner,
back,
so
baby.
Put me in the back for now. Bring
All
somebody
right.
else.
Ms. Balderson, do you like? I have a question before she goes. Oh, I was going to ask
She's
if you like
gone.
banana bread.
All right. Now hold
I was
on,
gonna
hold
ask if
on.
you like banana bread,
Hold
sorry.
on. Doc, shut the fuck up. All right. Stand by for a second. All right. And backstage, I've got Andrew, Effigy, and Anson. Anson's made his way back to the panels lately. I'm super excited you're back in the area. James sends a big 10, says climate change is still a thing. I thought the World Economic Forum boys said it wasn't a thing anymore because they want their AI data centers and they take a ton of power to operate. If it wants to respond to this, I'll give you a total of 3 minutes to kick back on this one because I think this is a big deal.
So the claim that AI data centers are like actually like a big.
It's bullshit, and I think it's literally a way to control the middle class's pockets. So
That's crazy, but
Go ahead, Bones.
but yeah, climate change. Well, so AI data centers, as it stands currently, do not take up a like vast majority of the power in any sense. They actually contribute a very small amount to climate change relative to other things. I believe the amount of like water usage is less than like the average like human thought.
God damn it! Would you let somebody finish their fucking sentence before you start fucking talking? Bones, please finish. Thank you.
So I believe that AI data centers consume less like power or less water than the like American faucets like dripping from the fact that they're not completely sealed, and the amount of power usage that they consume is fairly low as well. The bigger issue is probably more the like land that they take up and local strain on power grids, if anything. But broadly speaking, no, they aren't that harmful to the environment.
Waste heat. The whole purpose of the power centers is to cool the GPUs and CPUs they use, and you haven't taken into account the waste heat directly produced by their use.
And how
Yeah,
are they
how
gonna
much of that
produce
is a
the
factor?
energy needed to how are they going to produce the energy needed to power these AI centers?
I mean, that's more on the production side. That could be anywhere from like nuclear power plant facilities, hydroelectric, coal plants, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, it just depends on how on the mixture of power that's being produced.
And what kind of emissions are they going to produce?
If I'm mistaken, natural gas, coal, they produce their own chemicals.
And what are the emissions that they produce?
I mean, do you want like the exact mixture or what?
Well, I mean, that's what we're talking about as far as the CO2, the sky is falling. Well, these AI centers need some kind of power, right, to run it. And I think that's what the
geographical,
person,
like in Arizona.
that's what that's what the person in the chat was pointing out to you, is that, well, yeah, these gigantic centers that they're using, something's got to power it. So they're going to increase the CO2 level. The sky's falling even more. Oh, and by the way,
yeah, but at a lesser rate than other.
Oh, really?
Think about charging stations.
I mean, I can pull up some stuff. Hold on.
Would you? Yeah, I would like to know what kind of these AI centers, what kind of power they're gonna use.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
And what are the because they don't have them yet, so it's impossible to find. But I think that's what the commenter was
will determine what power
on.
source they use. If they're built near nuclear, you can almost guarantee they'll reroute nuclear because they can stage up and down those reactors.
True. I understand that, but there's still going to be a lot of pollution and waste as a result of that. Now, is it going to be the pollution that's going to kill off, say, the environment and the trees and this and that, which will further compound the problem of this CO2 emission stuff. And then they're going to turn around and say, "Oh, well, you guys can't buy cars anymore because it's all the cars cost." And then do you see what I'm saying? So it's a way to
Yeah,
impact
I
the
get it. I
economy and
see it as a
control.
big move to the 15-minute cities and trying to
Sure,
kind
yeah,
of
absolutely.
thin
It's a
people
smart
out in
city.
one
Okay,
area
here we go.
and put
Correct.
them
So
in
I'm
another.
gonna
Here's the thing about
first I'm
that.
gonna
A
post.
couple years
There
ago, this
is
is really important. A
not
couple years ago, Facebook and Microsoft opened data centers in Arizona. And so if you go to the Phoenix Valley, we have an abundance of the ability to produce solar if you have the right equipment, which we do, as it turns out. And then you can also do hydroelectric power. We have this big dam in Arizona that produces a ton of hydroelectric energy. And so it was supposed to be the case that Facebook and Microsoft invested in the environment. So they're going to create jobs and invest in the sustainable energy grid, their ability to produce sustainable energy at these data centers. And it's still sort of yet to operate, right? And so there's not a lot of ability to see into these big sort of energy problems that do exist. And it's still sort of yet to if that makes sense. Right? And so there's not a lot of ability to
Go ahead.
And if I could
Go ahead.
piggyback off of this real quick, I posted an article in the private chat that we have regarding water consumption and power consumption relative to other activities. Guess how much water leaks out of pipes in one day?
How much?
Like roughly speaking, like 11, 12-ish thousand gallons of water a day from leaking pipes. And then for ChatGPT, the amount of water that's used daily to do all global queries is like barely any, like maybe 100 gallons a day.
Did you say
Really?
Chat GPT?
Yes, ChatGPT. So I'm talking
Oh, you
OpenAI's
shouldn't go
data
by
centers.
that.
Why not? OpenAI is the biggest company in the world. He's saying
It's
like
biased.
I'm
You
right.
get flawed results. You get flawed results.
Wait, so do you think that there's other sources that would like not corroborate with this by orders of magnitude?
Well, here's the problem I have. These data centers draw about 250 megawatts of power. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That creates a lot of heat that has to be dissipated. That's what we were trying to get at earlier. You can't just hand wave that away.
I did not hand wave it away.
Okay,
I
that's
asked you directly how much
pollution is
how much
equal-
heat that generates relative to other activities.
I don't have the calculation off the top of my head.
So then how
You
can I know
take
whether it's
200
significant?
You can take 200 watts and you can calculate how much heat that will generate. Like,
Yeah, so how do I know whether like that's going to be significant when compared to the other
don't think
activities?
200 megawatts drawn of electricity is not going to
I
generate.
mean, you can't tell me, so I have no clue.
I want to say
Oh, I'm
word.
sorry, I don't have the calculation ready
Sara.
for a year. I'll look it up.
I
For
think
Well,
my
you
air
said that
conditioner would require more than that. It's
but you're
supposed
the
to
one
get
who's
an
bringing
accurate
up
number.
you're the one who's bringing
I'll
up the
tell you,
heat
like, you want to be a baby
dissipation.
about it. I'll look it up for you.
No, I'm asking you to provide evidence for your source here or for your claim here.
Basic
If you
physics.
if you're getting no, if you're getting
on.
if you're getting asked
There are
mad
so
about
many
this, and
words
like
to be
that's on you.
described.
I'm not. I'm just asking for the evidence.
Where's your source?
I gave my source in the private chat.
And how much power would it take for Chat GPT right now? I mean, they're talking about huge AI data centers that we don't
So
even have any clue of how big they're actually going to be. They're pumping billions of dollars into this. It's going to be enormous. You don't have any. Nobody has any idea quite yet.
I can look for sources on how much
several
electricity it's projected to make or projected to
Several
use.
towns in the U.S. have already been screwed over when it comes to electricity and water usage, so they're massively pushing back on building any new ones in the U.S.
I agree that the bigger issue is with local communities rather than just as an aggregate on the earth.
I mean, just in general, wouldn't it be more intelligent to build these things in cold environments rather than deserts? Like, say, I don't know, Greenland, where they have.
It just depends on what cooling solutions you're going to be using for a given place. It could be the case that it could be the case that like Antarctic weather would be or Antarctic conditions would be really good. But
allow me to finish. I was
Why do you think we want to buy Greenland?
Lines of the
North American
geothermal
Union,
village.
actually. It's the North American Union. Look at it. It's been around since the 60s.
You, I don't think you can build for economic purposes in Antarctica. I think it's against the treaty there.
Oh, really?
I'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure
Is
that's.
this another topic change, Sarah?
We're getting there in just a second.
Okay.
What we're doing is I have officially opened up the gauntlet. If you already know where you're going, please make your way over. Otherwise, I'm going to shut down over on the tomato side here in about a minute. And you can catch the raid on the way over to the gauntlet. We hit that 2-hour mark. At the 2-hour mark, we moved into total, stupid place. Because y'all start getting crazy after that point. And then I also want to say Kazak gave the next topic shift. Kazak, I can start reading them off again. And you can just pick which one. If you, I'm assuming you want to make the choice, Kazak, right?
Make it a little more slutty, Kazak.
Man down, man down.
Kazak, are you with us?
Can
You're
you
muted, buddy. I don't know if you know that.
Can you explain what the gauntlet thing is again? I'm
ahead,
still
read 'em.
new.
The gauntlet is my other channel, and it's kind of like an after hours.
I know your gauntlet.
So we do 2 hours here, and then we move over to the gauntlet. And there's a lot of reasons why I do that, but it's considered an after hours. It's like if you know, you know. All right, Kazak, are you with us now?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
We've got AI, abortion, transgender, feminism, God's existence, conspiracy theories, free speech, social media platforms.
Let's go transgender, and then the next topic, conspiracies.
Okay.
Damn.
Should transgender women compete in women's sports?
Absolutely
Oh, hell
not.
no.
No.
I thought it was going to be transgender in general.
Does anybody, let me ask, does anybody on the panel believe transgender women should compete in women's sports? If you don't, just shut
Yes,
up.
with heavy caveats.
Okay, Bones is in, Duck's in. Anybody else?
I knew Duck would be that stupid fuck. Let's see what Duck says.
I got a question.
I love him
Mm-hmm.
though.
I don't, and I'm still confused as is a transgender girl or woman a guy wants to be a woman or one wants to be a guy?
A guy.
It would be a male to female trans woman.
Yeah. Thank you.
So a transgender woman is actually a person with a penis.
Yes.
Sure, for all intents and purposes, we'll go with that.
Okay.
Essentially. And please allow me to reiterate to everyone watching on the Raging Tomato on YouTube, I'm shutting you down over here. Please make your way over to the Gauntlet at the Gauntlet Debate. I'm dropping the link in the chat now, or catch the raid. We will see you over there. Also, I still have in the background, I've got Effigy hanging out. I've got, Anson just left. And then Mistress Balderson is making dinner for her darling
Was
husband.
Anson in the back that whole time, Sarah? Was he?
He
Just chilling in
was.
the back and he just dropped. That's
Yeah,
hilarious.
he literally just dropped.
Sad.
So
I'm
Speaking
gonna
of
have to step out for a
transgender,
while.
yeah.
hold on.
So-
What's that, Etta?
I'm gonna have to step out for a while, but I will be back.
Okay.
But as far as transgender, you could be male to female or female to male, just technically speaking. But
Well,
I'll
she's talking about the sport
But by
going into
Well,
female.
you can have female to male, but usually you don't see that because females are at a huge disadvantage, or biological females. So, but
Well, they have
Hey,
to
look
study
at
it.
Sarah, come
tell
on.
them apart. What do you mean?
You guys are focusing on the wrong stuff, right? It's like the government shouldn't be involved in deciding what sports teams people form in the U.S. And the most obvious example of this is that the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, NASCAR, and
you know what Title IX
soccer
is,
league,
right?
they've all
And the
been
purpose
forced
of Title
to
IX.
focus
The
on their
government
own.
should definitely
Yes,
regulate.
it has nothing to do with
Hold on.
transgender.
Hold on. Etta, are you heading out?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to head out for a little bit, but I'll be back. But
Okay.
Title IX, there's a reason why we have Title IX, folks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for
All
women.
right, I'll be back. Yeah.
Yeah.
The
It's just
the
funny, all of
government.
you guys would have been voting for Ron Paul
Sorry,
like
Doc.
5 years ago, and now that Daddy Trump's president, it's like all of a sudden the
Ooh,
government has
Daddy
to ban
Trump.
scary trans sports.
Well, no,
right?
it's not that they're
For what reason?
scary. It's the government should regulate dangerous and expensive surgeries.
Okay, so that's
Wait, this is already regulated by like HIPAA laws, by the fact about that these surgeries have to go through like intensive medical scrutiny before they're put into practice by surgeons. Like, what are you referring to here? Also, this is
So
just a red
Talking
herring for the
about a
transports
mental
issue, but
health
that's a
issue.
different thing.
what
yeah, an
what
acute,
about
an,
the
an
fact?
acute
What
mental
about
illness,
the fact?
right? Which could be a traumatic
Hold on.
mental illness
Let's first
closer
start
to
with
like a lot of things.
transgenders in sports. We actually
Right.
would not see the issue of if it's a woman transgendering to a man and trying to play in men's sports because women are allowed in men's sports, right? They don't go into it often because it's stupid. But they are. There's no like if I wanted to go try out for the NFL right now, they would allow me to do it. However, men are banned from women's sports. The reason why is you're all significantly better than us at fucking everything, which is fine, but it doesn't work out if you come and try and play in our league. It would be like putting a 16-year-old athlete in a 5-year-old league. You just don't do it.
I
Okay.
wrestled a girl
Correct.
once, Sarah. I wrestled a girl in high school. There was no problem. I think I pinned her in the second round. But yeah, I mean, it was cool. I almost broke some kid's neck when I was in wrestling.
That
I also got
explains
my,
a lot.
my butt kicked.
Duck,
Yep.
stay on point. I also do have backstage. Mrs. Balderson is still making dinner, so she's fine hanging out back there. But Ella, the lovely Ella, is back there. Gentlemen, if you'd like to hear a lovely lady's voice, you know what to do.
You mean
Uh,
besides you?
I have a
besides
proposition to fix
me,
all of
but
it.
I'm probably just yelling at everyone. Go ahead, Sasquatch.
We create a human league where all comers can do whatever they like. All
All
the juice
comers.
they want, all of the testosterone they want, everything goes. You can blood dope, you can do the whole nine, right?
Oh Lord.
This is to achieve maximum human capability. Doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, as long as you're not a chimpanzee or a Sasquatch, you can compete. That way, anyone doing anything in any weird direction has a league to go do
Mm-hmm.
whatever they want to do.
That just sounds like men's sports with more drugs.
Okay,
Mhm.
you might be right. Okay, but I still want to see it.
Well, no,
I
no,
mean,
yeah, no.
we should do this right before we bring back the gladiatorial arena.
We should
So
do
Get
that
that chest
while
out there,
bringing back the
OG.
gladiatorial arena.
Chuck, were you saying something?
Oh, I was telling OG to put his chest out there and say it.
Mm,
But
Shut
yeah,
up, man.
I will say that you put a man into a woman's sport, you totally decimated the woman's sport. You made a mockery of it because everybody knows, I'm sorry, biology does exist. Men are stronger than women. So if you allow them to compete, even though they say their wee wee is hidden and it don't count, they still overtake the sport. Therefore, you take away any
See,
drive
this is
that a
like a
female
basic
would have.
misunderstanding of the whole thing, and
Let,
this is every
let me,
conversation on this topic, every single one. Like, you don't even understand that they are taking a drug that actually physiologically changes their body as well. A
Oh
transitioner to a
my
woman is
God.
going to lose a shitload
A
of muscle mass.
female.
So I
Yeah,
have actually a
women
question for the.
So,
one transition to
hold
a man
on.
is
Let
taking a
me
shitload of
let
testosterone, so
me
they're going to
ask
gain a lot of
you.
muscle mass. Like, our bodies are flexible in this sense. This is how this entire process is even possible.
Let me ask you this. Number one, Iotin gifting out 5 channel memberships. A shout out to our lovely Iotin for gifting the gift that keeps on giving. And Chuck says, I may pay to kick anyone who's off cam. So, all of you avatars, be warned. Texas Bully Mom says, please give this to the Baldersons. Their super chat button isn't showing up on my end. Texas Bully Mom, this is the one time I will make this exception, and I will ensure to super chat over on the Balderson side if I can get over there and give me a moment to do it. But I will make this one exception. But just so you know, I pay 30% of that super chat, and then I get taxed on it too. So this is the one time I'll make that exception, only because the Baldersons are sweet and kind and always here, and it doesn't bother me to send them money. Okay. Sarcastic Saint says, okay, I'm going to do Mama a favor by booting Duck since aspirin isn't available and neither is alcohol. If we had those two available, I could tolerate Duck. But since they aren't, Duck, say bye bye. Duck can't say bye bye. Not yet
He got
because
60.
gave him 50, and then another person gave him another 10. So he has a $60 credit, which just dropped down to only 50. So if everyone pitches in 5, or everyone pitches in 10, 5 of you very nice people out there, or one person sends 50, we can all grant Mama's wish. Okay, it's the Make a Wish Fund for Mama to boot, Duck.
Oh,
And
is that
then
your mama?
Sarah, would you say, is it fair to say I have superpowers right now, or like on a scale of 1 to Magneto, where am I exactly?
You're just annoying. All right,
Your superpower is annoying.
I want to kick it over to, I think, who was Effigy? You were just talking about how they take drugs to change their bodies, right? Um, and it can actually make them their bone mass or this or that or whatever, right? However, what if I went and had some kind of bionic surgery done where I have titanium arms and titanium legs put on me, and I go and join the track team and I become the fastest runner ever? Am I still in the fair safety zone as all of the other athletes out there?
I mean, I think that would count as something performance enhancing, right? So, like, you probably wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah.
Although I guess
but-
we will be dealing with that more and more as transhumanism becomes more of a thing in this century.
Okay, but see, this is where the bioethics debate starts kicking in, because if they can mildly transform themselves to step down a league to own the league, right? They still have all of the advantages of being a man biologically. You can say bone mass, this, that, another, but they don't get periods. Okay, and I'm gonna throw the fucking shit out like it's God's greatest gift to earth. If you don't get periods, you don't get cramps, you don't deal with that, and you have to go run a track meet, and you just started your period that morning, it's death on all. Okay, particularly our bodies.
You need to have your shit together.
If and men don't get periods. Okay, I don't care how many pills you take, you're not getting a period, you're not getting the same hormones going through your body, you're not getting all. And there are women, a lot of us actually, it's more common than not, who actually, when we get our periods, we are down, we are done. Like, you spend the day with your heating pad and Midol and Ben and Jerry's, and you're miserable as fuck. Don't tell me that's fucking fair for a dude to step in, do a little switcheroo with a few things, and doesn't have to deal with all that fucking shit that I have to deal with to come in and be able to take ownership of my fucking sport and not have to deal with all the shit that comes with actually being a fucking woman. I kick it back to you.
So-
I mean, Sarah, I wouldn't try and minimize your experience as a woman. And while that remains true, it's like, okay, so if I turn on the TV and Shaq or whoever,
you
Shaq,
kick it back to?
yeah, Shaq's talking. Well, whoever, you guys can white knight Sarah on this if I don't do a good job. So Shaq's talking about Caitlin Clark. What do I care as a paying member of the audience? If unless there's some like extreme unfairness and it's for some obvious reason, right? Like, can't I just give this completely over to a league
Hey,
admin
Zach,
and
turn
say,
your TV off.
Feedback.
life's hard for life's hard for everyone? That doesn't mean that a big sports league has to do what you say, right? That's conservative. That's more
Shut
conservative
the fuck
than you.
up, Doc. God, I'm just putting you back for a minute.
Okay.
Dumbest
One of the
fucking
dumbest
tardo
things
shit.
I've ever heard.
I can actually
Duck is a
attempt this
woman.
as
Anyone
well.
who actually has
Look,
some,
y'all, he
some
gets lost.
pushback, go
So-
ahead, you guys. I'd
so
like an
I'm-
actual real conversation.
I'm actually going to point to Michael Phelps here for this as well to kind of push the boundaries here. So Michael Phelps, as a swimmer, he had a lot of like double joints in his like legs and arms. His wingspan was massive, but the one thing that made him like a step above other athletes was that he didn't like wear down as fast. There wasn't as much acetic acid buildup as other athletes, which allowed him to stay in the water longer and to continue putting power in for much longer. And that was a significant biological advantage that he had that couldn't be usurped for the most part up until like he got old and age caught up with him. But even
So
in his
that's
later
what
years, he was still like
biological
incredibly
and into a
dominant. In fact,
healthy
the most
brain.
dominant.
Hold on, Chuck. Hold on. Bones, finish that last piece again.
And Michael Phelps is incredibly like dominant in the sport. Does that mean we should like find any other athlete that has this like I forget the mutation or whatnot that causes this, but should we find those athletes and disclude them from participating in the sport because it provides a significant biological advantage?
No, because he was
I- I-
born that way. God
Yeah, I was gonna say-
granted him that gift of. I mean, his wingspan is humongous.
Yeah.
He's a Baltimore guy, so we're very familiar with him. Seen him a few times around the block, but the guy's humongous. Like he could probably just crush me like this
Well,
with his arms.
that's a
So-
natural biological advantage
It
versus
is
plastic
natural.
surgery.
Natural.
So-
He's not taking hormones or are steroids allowed in the Olympics?
As far as I know,
No.
no.
So
No.
basically,
No, not at all.
like
Not at all.
this would be like I'm trying to think of how to put this. Okay, I'm 5'2". The average middle schooler is my height, right? Okay, actually most of them are taller than me at this point. This would be like me saying, "Well, you know what? I'm as tall as all the other middle schoolers, so I'm going to go join the track meet with the middle schoolers and run against them." Well, I mean, I'm as tall as them, right? I can do this, and I can identify as being a middle schooler because they're all taller than me, anyways. They should have the advantage. It's fucking retarded. You don't do that, right? So a man changing his stuff just enough. Then do all of them even get actual penis chopping going on?
Nope.
It's not
they don't.
necessary for the Olympics. No.
It's not necessary. Do you know what it's like to have a fucking vagina? No. Get the fuck out. And you know how weird that is for a dude to be in a sport with a dick and competing with a bunch of other women? What if you're doing like relays, or what if he rolls over you, his penis is flopping around? I don't know.
I didn't
It's
know you'd
fucking
look at
weird.
those during the Olympics, but maybe that's just you.
It's not
Oh
what
my
I'm
Though,
saying
though,
is,
for the Winter Olympics, there are people that actually either they actually take performance enhancing drugs to enlarge in their penis. Ski jumpers actually have done this in the past to increase the
have
amount of
the-
lift in their wingsuits. So,
Oh,
like
Lord.
that actually is a thing for that
Really?
specific sport for the long jump. Yes.
Okay,
But
I'm an avid
can all the
Olympic
men do that?
watcher. I've never heard
Can-
that before.
There's
all-
actually an article on it. I'll find it in a moment, but it's
You
also
cannot
like
take-
a little
you cannot
side
take
tangent thing.
enhancers. You cannot take enhancers to be in the Olympics.
Oh, I
That's just blood
agree.
flow.
I
That does
no,
be-
I agree that it's
That
banned.
would be similar to taking like almost like Tylenol. It just increases your blood flow and sends it down to that
I didn't
one
think
area.
you were actually allowed to do things that enhance.
No, you're not.
blood
You're
flow
not
or
allowed to.
anything.
You're not. No.
Mhm.
But athletes have done that in the past.
But so my point though is you are a man, right? You already have an upper hand. And then you change just enough to say that you identify as a woman, which I don't think that would really classify, because even like hormonally, if a man's like T levels are at like the more lower end of the average, like, or the normal, he still would be above women on their testosterone, right?
Well,
Oh,
I don't.
Should
well,
be.
I think Effigy also has something to say about this. He'd probably agree with me when I say this, but there have been like several, like dozens of studies done on like trans athletes and whether they're physically comparable to cisgender athletes, and there's like a moderate at best quality suggesting that at about like 1 to 3 years of transition, depending on the sport that you're doing,
Sarah?
that trans athletes are
male athletes are shitty. That's crazy.
wait, so that trans athletes
Bullshit.
are about on
I
par
call
with
bullshit.
cisgender athletes, or have like a insignificant advantage or disadvantage depending on the
All they
study.
got to do is claim they're a woman, and they can.
No,
compete.
that's not true.
essentially-
That's
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 essentially
that's
all.
not true at all.
There's no
Yeah,
Well,
the
what
IOC.
about- let me ask
Wait,
you
wait.
then, Bones, or Bones. Sorry,
You're
I was
good.
looking
Good.
at Doom and said Bones. What about high school? Are they transitioning for 1 to 3 years before they are topping out on athletics and switching over?
As far as I know, I think the requirements depend on the state. I'm trying to remember some of the like cases. There was like a high school girl, trans girl, who won a like state race.
Mhm.
I would say that they would have to. I'm not
Trans girl
as
is a man still.
So
Sorry,
I'm not as we can have that argument later, Andrew. But
There's
the
no argument.
yeah
Still
there
a man.
absolutely is. But like I want to finish this answer. But
Okay.
No, it
I
isn't.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Bill.
think that you'd have to transition for long enough to have like a comparable like strength level depending on the sport to be able to compete. For adults, that's generally like 1 to 3 years. With people who are like in the middle of their puberty, I have no clue.
Oh
But
my
I'd
God,
imagine it's
I can't
somewhere
believe you
along that
said
line too.
that.
Well,
Why would
there
I
are
like be dishonest about my position check?
The middle of their puberty.
I
Can't believe
mean,
you said that.
yeah, because there are trans athletes who are undergoing hormone replacement therapy in high
But
school
they didn't put
sometimes.
Yeah.
these things on
That
minors.
is nothing but map thinking.
No, not
well
at
the
all. What is entailed by
Yes, it is.
what do you mean by map exactly? Either way.
there are key biological differences between men and women that are
Minor
Yeah.
attracted people.
So yeah, that's just not entailed by my view. So you're gonna have to try again, Chuck.
Just because you
I'm
think it's
gonna
icky
try
doesn't mean
again.
it's like pedophilic. Like, come on, man,
Jesus
try again.
Christ.
You guys are
So
such fucking idiots.
so how does me being uncertain about like the data regarding transgender athletes that are teenagers entail being attracted to children?
Yeah, I'm not seeing the connection there either.
Well, what I'm saying is, if you withhold the person's puberty, you're trying to maintain them at a lower, younger age.
So we're already not getting a position that's entailed here. So I'm just going to assume that you are backing off from that. But on the other hand,
Oh, okay.
we're not
Go
just
ahead and
we're not just
assume. You know
stopping.
what
We're not.
happens when you
Yeah, you
assume.
did. Yeah, you didn't provide a conclusion that said that I was attracted to children. That followed from any
I
premise. So
didn't.
yeah,
I wasn't
exactly. So
saying
yeah,
you were
I will
attracted to
dismiss it.
children,
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely, I will dismiss it.
but
But
that is
on the
the
other,
end
but
result.
It's
no,
not
that's
people
not.
doing it to them, Chuck. It's them doing it to themselves, so their body doesn't change in a way they don't want. Like, wow,
Kids
what point of that
cannot
is
do
that
it
wrong?
to themselves.
So
I'm sorry.
So
Not
the
until
cannot
so the
consent.
requirements for minors to go undergo hormone replacement therapy and puberty blockers, it requires generally that their physician signs off on it, that their psychologist signs off on it, that they themselves consent, and that their parents are the ones giving the informed consent for it. So it's not just
Children
like,
can't consent.
well, yeah, exactly. That's why they have their parents do the informed part of the consent.
Parents
If you had
can't
listened to
consent
me,
for them.
yeah, yes, they can. Parents consent for kids all the
Oh,
time
so
regarding medical care.
okay, so it's okay for
So
a
parents
parent
can't
to
consent for
sleep
them,
with their
and they can't
children?
consent
This,
themselves, so no one can consent at all.
No,
That
they can't
sounds
consent.
yeah, this is just retarded.
So you're saying that the parents can
well.
consent to sex with their children?
No, not they
The,
could no. Whoa,
the
who said
kids aren't
that?
You just said
How's
that the
that
parents can
entailed?
consent for their children.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
This is
kids
regarding
aren't.
regarding
Hold
medical
on,
stuff.
is-
Holy
hold
shit.
on. The kids aren't technically consenting.
Well, yeah,
You
they
can't
well the
legally.
the kids aren't
Some of
providing
the states
informed
are
consent. Wait,
allowed
wait,
to.
hold on. So, well, that actually it's for that it's like some states it's 15 and older for kids who have a legal I believe governorship or something like that. They have like legal authority over themselves, and it's in very select cases. But otherwise, what I'm referring to is just medical consent. So that's just consent to like medical uh what's the word I'm looking for? Medical treatment. When I'm talking about just the kids consenting, they are fine with it, is what I'm saying. Like they are okay with the changes happening to them. The problem is kids can't provide informed consent because they are not aware of all the effects that occur to them from that. They aren't able to like process all of that. That's why parents need to give the informed consent before anything happens, because they're the ones who are more likely going to process that information out and make an informed decision.
Texas Bully Mom says, didn't think about that, understood, and here's to make up for it. My tomato text. Mrs. Balderson keeps telling me to keep it, but and I did go try and looking for the button. I'm wondering if they have a button pushed on YouTube where it actually turns off your monetization for that episode. Could be the 18 and up button that usually does it. But once they get that up, Texas Bully Mom, I'm going to take care of. Shh, don't tell. Kazak sends Big 10, says, good night. I'm having a damn connection issues. No, Kazak's going over to watch the Crucible. He's a big Crucible fan. Don't lie. Don't lie.
Oh
to me,
Lord.
Kazak.
I mean,
He's
yeah,
going to
Duck
watch
was at
them. I
least
know he's
able
got the
to.
10. He's got the he's got the Timcast thing or something going on. I don't know. Miss Balderson is still hanging backstage. I'm assuming she's still making dinner. Mrs. Balderson, when you are ready, please feel free to inform me of when you're ready. And are you ready? If you're ready, just cam up, and I will freely boot the douchebag of the evening. Yep, that was easy. All right,
Me?
she's cammed up. Why would you think that's you?
I don't know.
I think
was
Duck
just
wanted to go anyways. Yeah, also wanted to watch Timcast.
Would you get a kazoo if asked?
Would
Say that
I?
again.
Sure.
Would you get a what?
A kazoo.
Yeah. If somebody
Oh.
asked you to get a kazoo on a panel, it was like, hey, the next time you come up, you should have a kazoo.
I
And you
got a
can
kazoo.
do it like it's what, $1.50 at a Dollar Tree or whatever. It's a
If
kazoo.
somebody said, "Hey, this person will give me $100 if you, because you like to sing on panels," and this set person said they will give me $100 if you sing your next song with only a kazoo, and then it's been weeks and you still have yet to get a kazoo, do you think you should readily let that person on your panel if they're not willing to get you that $100 for
They're
free?
withholding your income,
Especially,
Sarah.
and Holly
He's
and
withholding
Faye,
your income.
I finally got his dono link, right, and sent him $20. And I said, go get a kazoo. This even buys you a coffee, a bus pass if you need it, or Uber to get to the fucking kazoo, or just Amazon it. I don't care how you get it. Here's $20. I'm overpaying, right?
And so did Wise Man.
$200, and I'll shave this off.
Yeah.
I'll take it all off.
I mean, yeah. If someone wants to do that, like
I
I
meant the
will.
hair.
I would
I
gladly
meant
go
the
buy
hair,
a
not the
kazoo and
clothes.
use it for like the $100 for you. Why not?
Right.
Hey, $200, and I'll try to grow hair. How's that?
There you go. I'll give you some
Well,
of
if you
mine. How
wouldn't
about
take
that?
those hormones,
There
that
you
wouldn't
go, yeah.
happen.
I've got some nice locks for you guys, so maybe I'll donate.
Lock?
Ooh.
Are you female?
No, I'm male.
Okay, you said locks. That threw me off.
Yeah, no, I'm just referring to my hair.
Glorious
Like I've
locks,
got
sir.
like I've been growing out this hair since like late 2023, no, early 2024.
What are you
So
gonna do with it?
I don't know. I just really like having curly hair, and so
Do you think about maybe shaving it and giving it to the cancer people?
actually that has been an idea of mine. That once I am done with long hair, I just pretty much shave it off, start again, and donate it.
No, that's
There
neat.
you go. Good job.
You know, I don't care what somebody's politics are, their religion, whatever. If they're going to do something like that, I'm 100% behind them. So, absolutely, I think it's a great cause. Absolutely.
Just be
Yeah.
aware they take it from the back. Try to grow it out as much as you can there and take good care of it.
Yeah, no, I wash it. You're not supposed to wash like really thick hair like all that often, like with shampoo and conditioner. Usually I just do like conditioner daily. But I don't do any like heat or anything to it. I do have a hair dryer, but it's just not on any heat setting.
The big thing is just to make sure you're taking care of split ends.
Yeah, that might be the only other issue. I do have a good amount of split ends.
I have a question for you, gentlemen. Do we want to continue talking about hair?
No.
I mean, I will
No.
talk about my hair all day. I
No,
love my
move
hair, so
on. Move on.
All right. Are
Well, it
we
depends
ready?
on where the hair is, I guess.
I'm very vain in that sense.
I'm okay with passing on the transgender topic. Mrs. Balderson, I'm going to leave the topic pick to you. I'm going to give you the categories and you let me know. And I do want to hold the lab grown meat for Ben when he's coming in. Let's see. We have AI development, abortion, feminism, God's existence, conspiracy theories, social media, gun ownership, open borders, cryptocurrency, cancel culture, vaccine mandates, deep fakes, space exploration, AI.
We created sex segregated sports in order to enable women.
And are we living in?
Sean, I can have a conversation with you later.
Let's go with gun ownership for 1,000, please.
Yeah.
For 1,000. Holy shit.
You know what though?
That is a brilliant idea.
I just thought it. I was like,
That
I
is
was just gonna say,
genius.
like, maybe I need to do that because there are
Maybe not
games out there
1,000,
we've
but
used.
on a spread. the topics you don't want to do cost more to bring up, and you'll
There
feel
you go.
Like
There
the
you
hard
go.
shit, the hard shit for 50.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, so hold on, you said gun ownership. Gun ownership. Let me first ask, is anybody anti-gun or caveats on gun ownership?
Yeah, I think most people are, but sure.
Okay, you are officially my token lefty for the night. Um,
Everyone
all
should
right.
be able to own RPGs.
2A. 2A all the
Alright,
way,
let
baby.
And own
me get to
RPGs.
the gun
Don't
ownership.
tread on me.
All right, here's the question. Gun ownership is it a fundamental right or a public health crisis? We kind of go in two different directions there, which is I like it. It's different. Fundamental right or public health crisis. Mrs. Balderson, since this was your choice, feel free to kick it off.
Fundamentally, the biggest issue for me, gun rights wise, is that 2A. If we do not have our rights, then we absolutely have no way of holding our government accountable. That was written into the Constitution specifically to protect us against a tyrannical government, and you'll never convince me that it's a bad reason to have guns. I'm also going to throw in, subsistence. There's people who live off of what they can hunt, and I don't think anyone has the right to take that away from people.
All right, Bones, I know you have pushback probably in there. Go ahead.
I actually think that the prompt kind of begs that there are only two positions to take. I am of the opinion that guns themselves are tools to be used responsibly or irresponsibly. In that, I personally think that I believe that regarding 2A, it is a right that Americans aren't afforded to be able to bear arms. I think like the idea of having a gun in of itself is not going to make you a threat or anything. But I do think that in order to have a gun, I think having certain restrictions with regards to whether someone's had safety training, psych evals, a lot of the bells and whistles that we have today regarding like red flag laws or any proposed red flag laws, I think have some veracity and should like be held up to prevent
Shall not
bad
be
people from having
infringed.
guns.
All of those things that you just listed turn it from a right to me asking the government for permission to do something I was guaranteed to be able
Shall
to do.
not be infringed.
Absolutely.
Simple fact of the matter is, and this is where I argue with a lot of people about the stuff that happened in Minneapolis. The American citizen has a right to carry a firearm and to use a firearm. This country was born from revolution, so I mean, they didn't ask for permission; they reached up and took it. That's kind
If
of
I
the end of the argument.
if I could maybe like throw an olive branch, I think like I do agree. I think people like Alex Preddy should be able to come to protests and have guns on them, even if even though they're not using them.
Everyone should.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. No, I completely agree. And to kind of
your caveat, you can't bring a firearm with you when you intend to commit a crime. So if you're going to go somewhere and commit a crime and you're armed, that's an enhancement to your charge.
So be it.
Yeah,
It's
no,
still within your
I would
right
agree.
to
That's
carry
just
a firearm.
yeah.
Even if you're going to commit a crime or not.
No, it doesn't. No, that doesn't follow because you're literally putting yourself.
It
in more
absolutely
legal
does.
jeopardy.
Shall
It
not
can't
be
be a right to
infringed.
be. You don't have a right to commit crime. It's like,
You don't have. You don't have.
Yeah,
a right
yeah,
to commit
but
your
crime.
right
not,
ends
but
where
it's
they
not
start to
the
infringe on
case
someone
that
else's.
it's not the case that
your
all
rights don't end.
it's
That
not the case
happens.
that it's not the case that all people with guns are intending to commit crimes. Some people could be committing crime. Well, yeah, I understand, but like, there is no way to enforce. If you're intending on committing a crime, don't bring a gun. Some people who are intending to commit violent crimes are doing so with that gun. To me, that just sounds like an empty platitude. But I want to like give the olive branch here. I think we need to seriously reform gun culture in the U.S. If not through laws, but rather through maybe like social campaigns to promote like a more responsible
what needs to be
usage.
reformed about
Yeah,
gun
what does that
culture?
mean? Reform gun culture. What do you mean by that?
Because
So
I go ahead.
So I think that I've seen kind of gun culture kind of change throughout my years of being alive. Granted, I'm 24, so I'm also going to borrow some of this experience from some of my grandparents and people before me. But I've seen good aspects of people that do not treat guns as the tools that they are, but for just like fucking around. And I think that has become like somewhat prevalent. People have used guns as like these tools to kind of to go back to the propaganda stuff, to kind of be irresponsible with their guns, but promote some type of message regarding gun ownership. I believe there's an ad that had a guy put I think it was a politician that put a like flashlight in front of their scope, blocking their view, which I think is very silly. I think makes gun owners look very silly.
Okay, what are the does anybody know or have maybe an idea of what the likely stupidity level or risk of accidental harm is compared to actual defensive shots fired, right? So
You can look at the percentage of how it increases with a gun in the household as to whether or not someone in that household will eventually being killed by a gun. I mean,
the number is like in the thousands, I think.
Wait, say that again. What?
Hold on. What was that, Ant?
Let's think like the number of accidental deaths. It's not even in the thousands, and the number of defensive uses of firearms, according to CDC, varies between 600,000 and 2 million cases per year. So it vastly outweighs the cost.
yeah, but we're not really talking about accidental, right? We're talking about like self-unaliving, right?
No,
That's
I'm
the
just talking
percentage that goes
no,
up,
I'm
right?
talking about street. No, if you bring in suicides, it goes up way up. But I'm not bringing that up because the mechanism of suicide doesn't matter.
Yeah. They would do it with a pew pew, knife, rope, bridge.
Drugs. You know,
Drugs.
Writing laws to fight crime
firearms.
is retarded.
Sorry,
Criminals
I
criminals
think the
already
evidence
don't
bears that
follow
out.
the law.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So wait, that just sounds like there's
Could be
limits on
wrong.
gun ownership then.
There shouldn't be. That's why I argued with Ant. Yeah, you
So
don't have the right to commit a crime, but guess what? The revolution was illegal. You have the right to carry a gun with you whenever you do anything. You just don't have the right to use it to somebody to commit a crime.
so
Why are
would
some rights absolute and some not?
Well, remember though, the Bill of Rights is meant to not impede on each other, right? So because I have my rights, you cannot violate my rights in order to enhance your own, right? So your gun ownership, that's fine and dandy, but you cannot utilize that gun on me just for purposes of enhancing your moment, right? So the minute you impede on my rights. Now, if I am actively trying to harm you, in a way that you would deem as a actual threat to your life, if I am trying to harm you, then I am impeding on your rights, right? And your ability to survive. You have every right to defend yourself.
Yeah, that's where self-defense comes in, right?
Right.
Like you can't control the actions of every person, right? But even if they commit a crime, they still have a right to have a gun on them. That's my only thing. Just like you would have a right to defend yourself.
Yeah, but the minute
And-
you're a criminal, you lose that right to gun ownership.
Yeah, but you shouldn't though. You shouldn't. Everyone should be able to own firearms.
Depends
What
on
if
the
they're medically
situation.
classified as a
Take that
schizophrenic?
away.
Can they walk in and buy a gun?
They should be able to.
If
Even if we know that they're an extremely dangerous person, they should be able to walk in and buy a gun.
If they commit a crime and harm somebody, then we can execute them. Plain and simple.
What if they have
There we
already
have the problem.
harmed? What if they already have harmed people, Ortho
Then they
guys?
should have been locked up. They should have been locked up for
Okay,
if they're
let-
schizophrenic and that to harm somebody. They should have been locked up.
wait. Let's say they've already been locked up and they've now been released. They've done their time. They're still schizophrenic. What now?
If you've
Can
done
they
your-
own a gun?
If you've done your time, whether you're schizophrenic or not, once you've paid your debt to society and done your time, you should immediately get all of your rights back.
Yeah, but they're a huge risk factor to the public.
Doesn't matter. Rights are rights.
Well,
Either
okay,
everybody.
hold that thought. If let's say everyone taps into their right to gun ownership, and everyone has the right to carry, and everyone has the right to defend themselves, then are we really concerned about that schizo if everybody else is armed too?
An armed society is a polite society.
I believe that. So then
Look,
I wouldn't be as concerned. Like here in Maryland, it's an incredibly difficult process to go through to get concealed carry. You have to really, really, like, I would qualify, right? Because of the nature that I'm in. But it's a very hard process in Maryland because they're not very pro gun in this state. They're pro have one at home, go hunting, whatever, but they don't exactly want people walking around with them.
Our Second Amendment wasn't for hunting, though. That's
So
my argument.
orthodox guy.
No, I recognize that. But what I'm saying is if all of the states actually recognized and didn't put all of these stupid things on the list for you to be able to obtain a gun, and everyone could actively walk around with a gun on their side, then I wouldn't be worried about the schizos.
Yeah, you wouldn't have to be.
You get
There's
how
a-
some
there's
of
a
us roll
basic
our
more-
eyes when we hear some of the Second Amendment talk nowadays. Like we're post ICE breaking down people's doors and using children as fucking bait to
Don't
get
even
people.
go that.
This,
So that's
this Second
that's
Amendment
dumb.
shit.
That didn't happen.
The tyrannical government. Guess what? You guys aren't doing shit with your guns with the tyrannical
No,
government's right
we
out the
happen
door.
to agree with the government. That's the problem.
Yeah, well, that's the problem. Whenever you guys are okay with the tyrannical government, all of your Second Amendment shit.
Oh,
fucking
this is
worthless.
good.
You're
This is good.
fucking cheering it on. That was the
So
caveat
think
the
if
entire
it-
time. The Second Amendment wasn't there to protect you from a tyrannical government. It was to protect you from the scary liberals who are going to come to get you.
So trying to have
You're
like
just
a
fine if the
little
right-wingers
bit
fall
more
and
good
suddenly form
faith,
a
but
tyrannical government and start terrorizing people
well,
with fucking
that is a
secret
very good
police.
faith question. But I don't know.
When did that ever happen?
I'm trying to chill.
It's happening right now, buddy. Can you
That's
ask an
funny.
ICE agent?
All right,
for his
let's go effigy.
identification?
Let's go effigy. But my
Like,
boy.
say
I didn't hear you.
police?
Say that
Can you
again. I
ask
didn't
an
hear you.
ICE agent for his identification? Can you get a badge number? Can you even get a
Oh, he
cam?
doesn't know. He doesn't know.
I don't know because I'm not the idiot that goes up there
Oh.
and tries to harass an ICE agent.
Oh shit!
Why would
Andrew's
anybody
about to
wanna
get
do
cooked.
that?
I
Why
hope
would you
Andrew
wanna
gets
go
cooked here.
harass a law
Because they're
enforcement?
breaking into people's houses without warrants, because they're violating people's rights en masse.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Because
No,
they're
they're
picking
not.
up people on the street because of what they look like, because they're using 5-year-olds to try and capture their fucking parents.
That is such a stupid thing to say.
You
Oh
got
my
your head
God.
up your ass, buddy.
No, I think you do, my friend.
No, not at all. I don't
Did-
think you
did
know what
the-
the hell's
did the-
going
did
at
the
all.
child's
This is why you
father run
right-wingers are
around?
like this, because you
Did
keep you fucking selves ignorant.
Look at that. You can't even let me talk. Did the father of the child take off and run away?
Did the father of the child take off and run away? I'm not sure. I think he did, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So what are they supposed to do with the child then? Let him sit in the street and freeze?
They could have given him back to his parents. The rest
They
of them,
tried. The
they
mother
could
wouldn't
have
open the door to take the kid.
No, that's bullshit. Come on. They immediately took him away in that car and they kept him in a facility until they had to have a court order to get him out of
Obviously,
it.
you haven't researched this. Obviously,
Oh,
just,
yeah.
obviously
That's
you-
it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why a big deal was made to make a fucking court order to release the kid.
What do you mean a court order released?
He doesn't fucking know. He okay.
His father.
I thought you said that he couldn't get with his father. I thought you said that.
The father ran
No.
away when they caught him. Then they say, "Yeah, you want your kid?" He goes, "Yeah, I want my kid." The kid's with his father. Should he not be with his father now? Is that what you're saying? 1 second,
Do
he's.
you not think that the Fourth Amendment matters? Do you know what the Fourth Amendment is?
Wait a second. You
What is
just
the Fourth
said-
Amendment?
You just said two
What is the
different
Fourth
things.
Amendment to the
You just said
Constitution?
two different things.
What is the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution?
Obviously, you're against all
He's
the words.
cooked.
It is your right
He's fucking
to not have
cooked.
unreasonable search and seizure enacted upon you. It is so that the
For who?
police
For
or
who?
anyone
Anybody
can,
or just a U.S.
anyone
citizen?
on U.S. soil.
Is that a U.S. citizen?
The rights of the Constitution are for anyone on U.S. soil, buddy.
They're for United States citizens, are they?
No,
not?
not at all. No, that is
So
not
if
what the
so-
Supreme
so if
Court has
somebody's
decided.
breaking the law.
So if you run a stop sign, all of a sudden you don't have constitutional rights.
If you run a stop sign, you can get pulled over.
But it doesn't get rid of your constitutional rights. You get that, right? The
But you do get
Constitution
pulled
protects
over. You-
everyone
No, you
on the
can get
United
pulled
States
over, right?
soil.
You know that, right?
Come on, let me
Yes.
in. Let me in. Let me in.
Yes,
But then you
okay.
have to break the law first, right? A cop just can't run up to you and be like, "I'm going to check your papers, please," because don't give a shit, right?
Well, if they were actually doing that, yeah. But yeah, see, you listen to all the propaganda.
Oh my God, he won't engage. He's not going to
It's
engage.
not
I'm not just going
propaganda.
up to random people.
He's not going
Yes,
to
they
engage.
are.
Only happening in.
I'm so ready
select
Do you
to.
know what a
I
Kavanaugh
want to
stop
dunk on
is?
this.
A Kavanaugh stop. No, I can't say I do. No, what is a Kavanaugh stop?
During a recent Supreme Court ruling, Judge Kavanaugh basically said that ICE could use people's race to stop them. And then ICE started using people's race to justify stopping random people on the streets. In fact, they started calling it a Kavanaugh stop, which pissed off Justice Kavanaugh, who tried to put a little bit in another ruling to try and undo it, but it didn't. Yes, ICE is stopping people because of their race. They're stopping any Hispanic, regardless if they are a citizen or not, to try and papers please them.
Okay, let me throw this one at you. After 9/11, when I used to travel by myself
He's
quite
not.
a bit,
He's not
I'm
going to
a- I'm a
engage at
heavier
all.
Guy, don't have any hair, but shave my head. I got stopped all the time at airports. Should I have or should I not have?
Wait, should you have not gone through security at a private institution like an airport?
No, no,
That's,
no. That's
that's
not
not just walking around in your neighborhood, dude. That's getting onto a plane. I don't agree with TSA doing that either, by the way.
Well, I do.
I think they went
100%
overboard.
I do. I had no problem them doing that. If I look like somebody who's going to be a terrorist, of course, stop me. I hope you stop everyone who looks like they're going to be a terrorist.
What do
Why is that
terrorists
so
look
bad?
like?
Why is that so bad?
What do terrorists look like?
Obviously, they look like me. Every time I went through an airport, I got pulled over. Why is that so bad for somebody to be doing their job? Why do you not want people to be
Where
safe?
is it?
Let me ask
If
you
someone's
that.
job was to violate your rights, would it be bad for them to do their job?
To keep other people safe. If I look like a bad guy, why?
If someone's job was violating your rights, so you guys are fine as long as you feel safe. You're fine with people violating the Constitution.
Twist things around here. That's
No,
not
I'm
what
just using your
saying
words,
at
buddy. It's not twist. It's called a mirror. As long as they're safe, that's what you said, right? As long as I'm safe, they can violate my rights all they want, right?
That's not what I said at all.
That's exactly what you
I
said.
said at all. No.
1000% what you said.
You are twisting everything around, just like you usually do. Oh
Just
my
holding
God.
up a mirror, bud.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Listen to you. You're like this. I know am I, but what are you? Come on.
Is it
dude.
okay to violate the Constitution to get rid of people who are here illegally?
To violate the Constitution to get people out of here who are here illegally? Why are they here illegally?
No. Is it okay to violate the Constitution to do that? Are they that bad that you have to violate the Constitution to do it?
Are they here legally or illegally?
Does that matter as to whether or not the Constitution protects them?
Absolutely, it matters.
It doesn't
That's the whole
actually.
thing.
No. People here illegally still have the protection of the Constitution on U.S. soil. This is why it's so frustrating. This is why
If
you
that's
guys are
your
letting through this
interpretation, that's
fucking
not my
fascist idiocy
interpretation of it.
happen because you don't even know your own rights. You're fucking
I know
children.
my rights,
You couldn't
but
pass a fucking
illegal
civics
people,
class.
People who are here illegally don't have the same rights as me. Sorry, they don't.
No, they don't have the exact same rights, but they do have the rights
Exactly.
afforded
Thank
by
you.
the
Thank you.
Constitution.
Thank you.
Because in the
Thank you.
Constitution, they have specific areas where it says citizen and areas where it says people. And all the places where it says people means everyone with their fucking feet on our fucking soil.
So let me ask you this: have you taken in any of the illegals in your house?
Oh, yeah, I've got like 40 or 50 of them right now. They're crammed into the bathroom.
Okay.
Holy
Good
shit.
for you.
Fucking stupid question.
Why is that a stupid question? Why?
Because it was asked by a stupid person, I guess.
That's funny. My God. Is that the only comeback? Is that the best you got? To put
That's
people down?
that was it. That was the number one. That was I'm
people
completely
down,
out of
that's
ammo
it?
now.
Come on,
I
come on,
can
come on,
see, 'cause
come
That
on.
was my number one. That was
Come
my
on.
that
I
was
wanna
my
do
trump
it.
card.
I
That was
can
the
do it.
nuclear button right there.
Okay, to put people down. Gotcha. Well, appreciate the nice banter.
You're welcome for the free civics lesson. I'm not even going to charge you.
Well, you're welcome.
All right. Now you're up against me. So do you know the difference between an administrative warrant and a judicial warrant?
No.
So an administrative warrant is a warrant typically signed by an officer, usually in like the same department. A judicial warrant is a warrant that is signed by a judge, which is a warrant for someone's arrest, typically. Do you know which warrants
Wait. You cut out. Somebody's what?
to like arrest someone?
Arrest. Okay.
Yeah.
Arrest. Okay.
So do you know which warrants that ICE was using to arrest immigrants?
No.
They were using administrative warrants. In particular, I believe it was I-200 and I-205 warrants. In particular, the reason why this is bad is because the reason why we have the Fourth Amendment is because we want to give people due process from accusations made by like other parts of the government, and we want the judge to check whether those claims are valid. So based off of this, like, do you think that what ICE is doing with administrative warrants is bad?
I think
I know I
ICE is
kinda
following
loaded
the
it.
law. I think ICE is following the law.
So how are they following the law?
How are all these other cities okay with it, but only a
So
couple
this
are
is
not?
this is just a pivot, by the way. So why are administrative warrants sufficient for removing people? Why do you think so?
I just think they're following the law. Now, if you're
So
going to get in
so
depth with
so
with
what?
the warrants and everything,
So how do you know
I'm
if
not
you're
well
following the
versed.
law?
I am not well versed in these warrants things.
Granted.
So I'll be honest with you, I'm not well versed with that. So
Granted.
you want to call me an idiot for that? Feel free. Go ahead, do it. I'm an idiot for that. I get that. I get it.
So you don't
But
need
my
to
thing
victimize
is-
yourself on this. I just want you to answer questions.
Okay. What was the question?
So the question right now is, why are administrative warrants legal? Why do you think so?
I can't answer that.
So
No.
so they
No, I
aren't.
can't answer that.
They actually aren't. This has been struck down by the Supreme Court. But the reason, or it's been struck down by courts. But the reason why is because you have in this case with ICE and CBP, you have people from within a controlled part of the executive government approving other people in the executive branch of the government to go do things. The reason why we don't want that is because of this thing called separation of powers. We don't want the executive branch to have unchecked power on who gets to deport who, which is why we have due process in the first place, because we need judges to administrate or they need to adjudicate these claims, putting the state against the person.
Okay. So if it happens in one place, should it happen in all places?
Yes, it should happen in all places in the U.S.
So you're saying that people
They
who
should-
are here illegally should just run free?
No, I think they should get due process if they're being accused by the government of being illegal.
Okay.
And this is supported by GGG versus, one second. I just had the article put up. GGG versus Trump. We had a bunch of immigrants who are accused of being from Terra Lingua, and they're about to be deported to CCOT. And this was before Trump enacted the Alien Enemies Act. The Supreme Court struck this down because the administration wasn't giving these people their proper due process. They were not allowed to talk to lawyers or be able to dispute the claims before being taken out to CCOT.
Okay.
Yeah, this is just illegal. Like, the Trump administration is doing something illegal.
In your opinion?
No, in the Supreme Court's opinion.
Okay.
So, do you agree now that the Trump administration is doing something illegal then?
I don't believe so. Just because you're telling me this doesn't mean I'm actually going to believe you.
So, TX Boy Mom, AI says that that's a lie, Bones. Go read JGG versus Trump. These migrants are supposed to be able to see a lawyer and be able to adjudicate their claims.
If what you're saying is true, and I'm not saying it's not because I haven't researched it. All right.
Absolutely. Granted.
Let's say it is. Don't you think all your news stations, CNN, MSN, NBC, CBS, ABC, would have this wall to wall every day?
They did actually. They did report on this.
They did report.
You're just blind. You're just blind. I grant that too. If you agree.
Okay. Okay.
So
So
yeah,
then how
so
come
why
all the
the
other-
so why the hell are you on this panel if like you sorry. Now I'm getting into different
Just
territory.
Because you
Art.
smugly misinterpret.
Obviously,
Just
I'm not
because you
intelligent
smugly
enough.
I'm out for
misinterpret
blood.
something
I'm out
doesn't
for
make
blood.
it law.
Hold on, y'all need to be careful. She got her clan hood on.
I'm getting
Base-
the
let's
basement.
go.
The basement has been so cold because of the weather lately. So I got my blanket over my legs. I got I put my hoodie on. I'm drinking my hot water. Like freezing down here.
Well, let me just
Kanye
say,
approved.
I'm going to apologize for not being nearly as well versed as everybody else in here. So I apologize for that. And if I didn't make a good example or a good debater, I am sorry.
Andrew, just
Sorry.
because a leftist smugly misconstrues something doesn't make it true.
So Orthodox guy, what did I misconstrue?
First of all, the administrative order, the administrative warrants allow them to enter homes in the event that the order of removal has already been ordered by a judge. The individuals found outside of their home are picked up when available, but if they're inside their own residence, these warrants do allow them to enter the residence if that individual has already had a removal order.
So why don't they present the judicial warrants to these people instead of the administrative warrants?
They run.
So
Squatch,
that
would you
doesn't answer
open
the
your
question.
door if anyone came there with a warrant that didn't have a judge's signature on it?
I'm in Georgia. Chances are they're gonna kick in my door to start with.
So yeah, that would be illegal.
Right.
That would actually
I'm
just be illegal then.
I'm just saying,
you
are
never
your
dealt with the
Never mind. Fuck
GHP.
it.
Allow me to interrupt, gentlemen and lady. As of now, and I'm including the first dono that came in earlier because it wasn't it didn't count on the goal, even though because I made the goal at the same time as the super chat came in, so I am counting it towards the goal. I believe it was from it was, I forget who it was from. Anyways, to Thumping Weevil sends in a big 10, says effigy, name one break-in that was without a warrant. Effigy to you.
The entire reason we're talking about administrative warrants
No,
versus
no,
judicial
that's not
warrants
the
is
question. That's not the question.
Shut the fuck up, Chuck. You only know what you're talking about half the time you're even opening your mouth. The entire
Oh,
reason
right,
we're talking
right.
about administration versus judicial is because ICE
guy
has
who
been
won't even show his
abusing
face on camera.
administrative
Hold
warrants.
on. Pardon me, effigy. The super chat was to effigy. I read the super chat and I asked effigy if you could allow him to answer. I know you probably hate what he's going to say. That's fine, but shut the fuck up until he's done answering. Effigy, please start over. I apologize.
Once again, the entire reason we're talking about the difference between administrative and judicial warrants is because ICE has been abusing administrative warrants all across Minneapolis. This has been documented many times over. There are many lawyers who have been putting out free legal advice on what to do when someone presents an administrative warrant, showing you how to check the forms to make sure that it's a correct one. I don't need to provide one example. There are thousands of examples you can find online very easily. I don't have their names all fucking memorized, but this is happening. It's all over the internet. You probably are just looking in circles that keep this information out of your fucking feed.
That was such a great dodge. I bought that bitch and drove it for 20 years.
How is that? Wait. How is that a fucking dodge? Hold on. How is that a dodge?
So good,
Sir, you won the internet. That was excellent. Thank you
That was
for that.
beautiful. Texas Bully Mom says, "Can I extend the speed date with this?" And we did extend, and then I also added Bones in there for tag team. Texas Bully Mom says, "AI says that's a lie, Bones. I do believe you did already respond to this,
Yep,
but if
I
you
did
wanted
respond
to
to it.
add anything else, you're more than welcome to. If you'd
So yeah,
like.
TX Bully Mom, if you want to come up onto this panel,
why are
I
you
will
so afraid of
personally
ICE?
shut the fuck up. I will personally
Oh,
fund you to
fuck
come on so
you.
I can have a speed
No,
date with you with
you.
TX Bully Mom. I will do it.
Again, let me remind. I just did this with Effigy's super chat that the dono specifically was talking to Bones. I gave the
Okay.
floor to Bones. Please let him talk. Bones, I missed anything you said. Texas
I
Bully Mom, I
apologize.
did. Thank you. I do know Texas Bully Mom does not want to join panel. She's not ready yet. We're getting her there, but
You know what? Fair enough.
yeah.
I'll stop being super aggro. But like if you're getting all of your information just straight from AI, then that's going to be a really big issue. You would need to look. I recommend using AI insofar as like they sometimes or they usually produce like good sources that corroborate some of your information. And I would rather you vet the sources of the information rather than just the AI itself. If the AI doesn't provide any sources for each claim, then I think it's junk. Just like Wikipedia.
That answers Sarah's question about propaganda, right? And how we the people know we're not lied to is we have to verify our own sources and information, do our own research.
By sources, he means rando people on the internet.
Well,
Or
hey, bro, when you
Go ahead.
hey
Go
when you
ahead, Mrs. Alderson. I'm gonna allow her the moment since it was her topic pick. Go ahead.
thank you. So I actually did look this up the other day, and so Squatch, there was so much talking I couldn't hear everything you were saying. Can you clarify the part about it was already approved by a judge by the time it gets to an administrative warrant? Because when I looked it up, it mentioned nothing of that, and so I had not heard that. I actually looked up and saw what he was saying, not So clarify that for me, please. I see critical reviews talking about it in the chat too.
So there was a May 2025 memo, and an internal memo in ICE, saying that they can issue administrative warrants out to people at a final order of removal from a judge previously. The reason why I say that this isn't illegal per se is because one, if you have a judicial warrant, you should just, as an ICE agent, be able to reproduce that and give it to the people who are trying to leave. And two, administrative warrants, time and time again, have been like struck down legally. And most legal scholars say that administrative warrants are kind of bunk. And the reason being that they tend to cite is it's an executive branch of government checking executive branch of government as opposed to judicial branch checking the power of the executive branch. So it violates separation of powers.
Who has authority over immigration?
What?
The
Federal
administration,
government,
the
executive branch.
administration, the executive branch.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and
has authority over
and
the
per the
law.
Fourth Amendment, you have the ability to challenge what the executive branch says and go to a court of law over it.
That would be the first.
That's called
Amendment,
due
not the
process.
Fourth.
No, that's due process.
Okay, so
Due
County
process is in the
government
Fourth
first.
Amendment, not the
Due
first one. I know you
process means
I know you failed
So-
civics, but like this is
No,
not going to be a good
I-
argument
you're
against
right.
me.
I didn't fail
Gentlemen,
civics.
if the gentleman could make way for Mrs. Balderson, go ahead.
Absolutely.
okay, so when I went looking the other day, I found the same information as you're saying, Bones. So what I was asking for clarification from was from Squatch because he brought up something I had not found in my research, and I wanted to know where to go and look for that.
That's the DHS website itself as to
Okay.
how it explains how these warrants are useful.
Okay.
The
Well,
so
to be
if
fair,
they
what
didn't,
Squatch
if
said is
they
the exact
didn't
same thing
have,
that Bones said.
if they didn't have a judicial warrant on file, they would not be able to use an administrative warrant to gain forceful entry to a home. That
Well,
would be-
ICE agents are only using
No,
administrative
actually,
warrants.
no. In order to gain forceful entry to a home, they have to have a judicial warrant on file. I didn't fail civics.
All
Negative.
right. Nuke sends a big 10 over on PayPal and says, "Here, you pushy biatch. Love the show. Don't just love it, like it. Now is the time to absolutely positively hit the fucking like button. Not enough of you have hit the like button, and I've been pissed off over less
I
problems.
can't find it. Where
So-
is it, Sarah?
It's up your ass. Go ahead and keep pushing,
Whoa.
especially with your thumb. Tom Carpenter comes in with a big test. Says it actually is a lie to say that the administrative warrants are actually not legal, which is exactly what you said. Improper warrants are illegal. Typical exaggeration to support a claim.
So if I can respond to that, and also Orthodox's claim. So the memo specifically says that ICE officers can use just a narrow administrative warrant to be able to deport people.
Yeah, that's
So-
deportations. Forceful entry to a home requires a judicial warrant on file.
They're
No, it
using
does
just
not.
administrative warrants to break into people's
It
homes.
absolutely does, Chuck.
Uh,
Go read the DH.
This is per their memo, so I don't know why you're going to lie about this. But to answer Carpenter Tom's,
it's not a lie.
but
Go
to
their
answer,
website. You can read it for yourself. Do your
yeah,
own
I
research.
read it. That's why I know this. So, anyways, Carpenter
I
Tom.
don't know this.
Yeah, yes, I do. So Carpenter Tom, administrative
Go ahead,
warrants are
Bones.
typically
Go ahead,
not
Get to the
legal.
whistleblower complaint.
If you're here illegally busting the
I
door
seem to have
down,
triggered
Shut
some
up,
snowflakes.
Coley. I didn't ask you to talk. Go ahead, Bones.
So I seem to have triggered some snowflakes, but either way, so it is not a lie. Administrative warrants have been struck down time and time again because there is no check from the judicial aspect of the federal government for these deportations. Like that is a common argument cited.
Thumping Weevil sends in a big 10. It says, let's talk about the 3 million Obama's administration that were deported. Anybody want to comment on that? It's open.
All
oh,
hail the
he did what Trump
all
said
hail
he
the
was gonna do.
deporter in chief. All hail the deporter in chief.
So the reason why Obama's border policies differ from Trump's is that Obama was actually predominantly deporting people who had committed either violent crimes or people who had recently crossed the border at the time. That's how he racked up those numbers. I can also address the 56 deaths. Those are bad, but Trump also did 30 in 1 year, so he has a higher KD than Obama. And finally, The reason why Obama's wasn't protested as much was because Obama wasn't using ICE and CBP as like this wing to attack governments that don't listen to him, like Trump is using right now with Minnesota.
All right. Does anybody have pushback on that?
Tell it to
Yeah, I
alien
do.
controlists.
My pushback is, I think we
Is
should
that
make
why Trump
Nick-
tried?
I'm not a fan of this guy, but we should make Nick
Your
Fuentes the
microphone, Spicoli, your mic.
Yeah. Okay, I'll have to.
You need
Well,
to
let me
fix
go
your
out. I
audio,
gotta
brother.
Can't
I will
understand
fix
you,
my audio,
sir.
but Nick Fuentes, borders are. How about that? Nick Fuentes.
Oh, so you're a griper.
If I can say really quickly, like what Thumping Weevil was saying, it's not that we're making a big deal about this because we're deporting illegals and we're trying to protect illegals. It's the method. It all comes down to the method. No one, when Obama was doing what Trump said he was going to do, when he was just deporting criminals that he found and people who were caught crossing the border, no one gave a shit, right? Because we all agreed with it. But when you make a fucking secret police to go in and start terrorizing entire cities and shit like that, it's the method. When you start violating constitutional rights to do it because you convinced an entire swath of America that these people are like the worst evil people ever and we've got to fucking do this, you're just giving up your own constitutional rights to allow a certain group of people to be hurt, and
That's
eventually
not
it's going to
even
come
the
back
issue.
around on
The
all of us.
issue is, where are the illegal immigrants in these videos? We're in Minneapolis where citizens are being shot. Like, the issue is they're not dealing with illegal immigrants. They're dealing
Yes,
with
they
U.S.
are. Go look up the stats.
In the video,
Weren't they protesting in front of the ICE building, like and causing a bunch of ruckus over there too? The protesters.
They are now.
That's within their right. That's within their
And
right.
I just heard that they passed, or some judge approved the ability to say, like, you can't use pepper spray or the little smoke thingies if there's
Pepper
like
balls.
no threat. Yeah, pepper balls and stuff or whatever. If there's no like actual active threat or some shit like that. I thought that was the dumbest thing I'd ever heard, because they use them to push people back, right?
Yeah, but the ruling came because that kid lost his eye because that guy the ICE agent shot him in the eye from 3 feet away.
Oh,
They just got around with it by installing. They just got around it by installing tear gas mortars. Let's go more tear gas mortars.
Interesting.
Tom Carpenter says the funny thing is this exact same issue was brought up against Obama for the exact same thing. Most people just forget. Truth, left and right suck and will break the law to get what they want. Oh, I love you, Tom.
So,
Any thoughts on this?
They'll be fighting each other while our
he's just making
rights are eroded. Let's go.
He's just making a vague platitude. Like, you're going to need more specific claims than just the left and the right do the same thing, Carpenter Tom.
Yeah.
If you want to bring up like specific
Each
instances,
other while they erode our rights. That's
so
crazy.
I do remember that there were people actually protesting Obama when I first actually started watching the news when I was a little youngin. I do remember there being protests with Obama's
The left was upset at
stuff.
Obama for his border policy. They were a lot of them were very upset.
Absolutely. And
All
Trump
you
is just doing it way
scholars out
worse.
there who go over all the legal documents all the time. Let me ask you this, and I don't know, so I'm just asking because out of curiosity. Didn't Florida just recently pass some sort of law, like a 10-foot law or something like that, where you can't get within 10 foot of a active police something going on?
Like situation.
That's usually the case. They have a certain distance, varies by state or municipality, where you can practice your First Amendment, you can record, you can do like Joe Cool does and audit the police, but you can't be within 10 feet of an active like police ongoing thing or law enforcement ongoing thing where they're.
So what happens if you get within the 10 feet?
Then they can arrest you. It becomes obstruction.
And the reason why is because you want to preserve any potential crime scene and be able to collect evidence without any external people trying to impede.
It's also a safety.
And you're okay
issue.
with that? I thought you didn't that.
It's also a safety issue, right? If let's say somebody's being arrested or somebody got pulled over. I've seen Joe Cool do audits on people getting pulled over by the cops. And if that person is an actual threat and we don't know it yet, right? If they come out or come swinging, come shooting, whatever, you are now too close and you are putting yourself at risk, and you could potentially get in the way if the cop needs to do something.
Tron
And
noted. I'll use
that's
that.
dangerous to everyone. And then you're putting that cop at a safety risk as well, because now they have to think about you and who you are and what you're doing, along with this person who they don't know. The thing that most people forget is we don't know, the cops don't know who the fuck you are. They don't know you're
Correct.
Susie Q from down at the ice cream shop who works every day part time for fun. And then you like to go to the library and you go to church and you knit little sweaters for, babies who are, whatever. Like, they don't know that you're a good person. They have to assume you are a danger to them. So stay the fuck away. I respect auditors and do your job, whatever. I think that's great. But don't interfere, don't get in the way, and don't present as a danger. And even as onlookers who are not actual auditors or protesters interfering with ICE stuff, back the fuck up. You are making this a more dangerous situation than it actually has to be, and you are causing more problems than good at that rate. And
They
then
put
Texas,
zoom on the camera for a reason.
exactly. Use Zoom or get a better camera. Texas Bully Mom says, Bones. It was a total joke. I didn't ask AI anything, but glad you jumped on panel anyway. I am
Perfect.
glad you came and joined. I loved the little exchange on X, and I know I was driving you up a wall. That was actually really fun, bugging the shit out of you on Twitter.
Oh no, I have
Um,
fun on Twitter all the time with that shit. I have like way
mhm.
more autistic conversations on there than I'd like to admit, but
Well, my favorite thing on Twitter is when people infer they presume I said something and I definitely didn't. Especially if I ask like a question in the feminist realm of things, and they're like women are trying to take men's jobs. I'm like, I didn't say anything of that. What are you talking about? Like, you just want women to do it. You just want women to have an abortion. I'm like, I didn't say any of that either. Like, so
yeah.
it's like,
Typically on that with the propaganda thing, like the reason
mhm,
why I was trying to like nail you down on like whether you had like a moral claim to it was because you seemed like really irritated that you were being like in your terms like lied to. And so I take that to kind of entail like some sort of like morally loaded language. So I think you just took that as like to be something that is like morally negative, which is why I wanted to pin you down on that so I could question further.
no, could we say it's dangerous?
It can be.
I don't even know if we have to go down the more. That's why I just said, like, it's just bullshit. It's just bullshit that they're feeding to us, right? In order to sway us one way or the other. And I think that's dangerous to your society to not allow them to ingest the facts, like digest it, process it, and then spit out an opinion. And here's what where I could go with this. If you don't allow the people or tell the people to go, here are the facts, you figure it out from there, right? And you just feed them their opinions, then their opinions are all going to be retarded and top news highlight. That's all they're going to have is highlight opinions, news title opinions, 3-second clip opinions. And that's all they're going to have because that's all we're feeding them.
The mono party does not want you to be able to think for yourself, Sarah. They want you to repeat talking points, whether you're right or left. Doesn't matter.
Exactly
So,
where I'm going with that.
so if I may respond real quick, it just
Mhm.
to me that just sounds like you take propaganda to be like morally speaking, like intrinsically bad, because you feel like you're being deceived with that. Is that
that's what makes it propaganda, is that you are being deceived.
It is
Yeah.
deceptive.
Correct.
Indoctrination would be the neutral term, right? Indoctrination can be positive.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
negative.
there you go.
Propaganda is inherently deceptive.
Mhm.
Not always. There's
yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's the inherent aspect of it.
I think the
not necessarily.
actual
I would disagree.
definition. I think the actual definition.
Propaganda is an official
Here it
narrative.
is. Here it is. It says information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote a particular cause, doctrine, or point of view.
Usually or
So-
always.
I guess
Just
especially doesn't mean 100%.
Just because it says
Information-
usually.
Hold on. Information, especially of a biased or misleading nature, used to promote a particular cause, doctrine, or point of view. Where did I say usually?
No, I just misread it then.
Mythology. What was that E word you used? Especially.
Especially. That means
Just because it Just because it says especially doesn't mean that that propaganda is used for that. It's an official narrative. Now it can be misleading, is what that means. It can be misleading in nature, but it doesn't mean all the ways, and doesn't mean it's inherently misleading.
Especially.
Always is propaganda.
I mean that's just
It's
one way to
especially.
take
That means,
propaganda
like,
to be.
specifically, right?
I
wasn't fucking if it was fully true, it'd just be the
Man, what is
news.
with
It
right
wouldn't
wingers
be
arguing that bad shit is good lately?
Alex.
there is such a thing as what we could call good propaganda. I'll give you an example. When we operated in Afghanistan and Iraq, we would put out flyers advertising like free medical services for the community. This was a form of propaganda. We wanted to do this to get better influence with them, but we were also giving them something that they needed in return. It was mutually beneficial. So it'd be hard to say that this was wrong or bad, I think. Even though it was definitely a form of propaganda because we were trying to get influence, but we were willing to do something for them too. Like it was, like I
Were
said,
you
mutually
giving
beneficial.
them all facts?
Yeah, this was most of this was just like clinics. They'd come in with like for pain and get like a bottle of aspirin, stuff like that.
Well, I mean, the papers you were handing out, was it filled with just all facts?
I don't know. I couldn't read it.
Well, because if it's just that it's just an information pamphlet. It's not propaganda.
It was information about where to come for the events because these were temporary events. They weren't like
It's
all
an
the time.
advertisement.
That's not propaganda, though.
That
But it was. That's how it's treated. Though.
it's
treated
used
as
to
propaganda.
influence the local
it's hearts
people's
and
opinion
minds.
on like the American government, giving them like free
Which is
assistance in certain
propaganda.
aspects. Yeah, that would
Yes,
be
so-
considered propaganda, in my opinion.
Uh,
It's all about winning hearts and minds. 'Cause
Absolutely.
propaganda is dissemination of information that is biased. It is biased for one organization or narrative in particular. That's
And it
what
could
propaganda.
and it could be supported with either the usage of like facts, like arguments, rumors, yes, lies included. That's why I'd say that propaganda isn't necessarily like deceptive. It's more accurate to say that
always
propaganda is
deceptive.
necessarily biased.
Yeah, bias is a good word.
People are always going to try to spin the narrative, but I think where people tend to have the problem with it is when your government is doing it to you. I expect that your average person is going to behave in a self-serving way. They want to protect themselves, but my government shouldn't be lying to me. My government shouldn't be hiding facts from me. My government shouldn't be trying to mislead me. That's where I have the problem.
Yeah, I
And
agree.
that's
That's
what I'm
why like
saying,
Craig
like,
Bavino,
why
Christy
are
Nolan
they-
shouldn't
including
lie
national
about
secrets.
Freddie.
Well,
Sorry.
well, hold on. Why
Well, they
are
should lie about them.
they? Yeah, why? That's what I'm saying is our government should be the most transparent with us. I understand national security stuff, right?
Me
That I understand. I recognize that, whatever. But in terms of all of this other stuff, I think we should be running a truly transparent government. The people should have all of the facts, all of the information, and all of the ability to formulate their own fucking opinion instead of the government pushing propaganda trying to get us to say anything else. And let me read these two donos and then I'll hand it out to you. James with the Big Ten says, fuck the goal. And we made the goal. Have a nice evening. I'm going to watch go to bed. Josh says with a big 5, Bondi being willing to force an ICE drawdown in exchange for state voter rolls makes it obvious their focus isn't on immigrants. Any response to this?
Yep. Ditto.
Yup. They're trying to fuck with voter rolls. There's no reason for the federal government to even want your voter rolls. They have nothing to do with elections. That is a state-run thing. It's easy to just imagine the nefarious reason that he's going to want your state fucking voter rolls.
Okay. Anybody else on this super chat? Otherwise, we'll move back to propaganda.
No, it's 100% accurate. And first things first, sorry for my hiatus, but I've been very busy with things. But yes, it's absolutely insane the fact that Pam Bondi would say, "Hey, listen, we'll pull back, we'll take all of ICE out, but just give us your voter rolls." There's nothing nefarious about that. There's nothing nefarious about Tulsi Gabbard going down to Georgia, stealing the voter rolls down there, and there's nothing nefarious about Steve Bannon saying, "Hey, we're gonna probably put ICE and voter
Really?
rolls in the midterms." I mean, what the fuck, dude? Seriously, what kind of happy go fucking backwards pageantry is this shit? Sorry, it's bullshit.
It is democracy manifest. It's the end result of democracy all the
Gentlemen,
time.
this is democracy manifest. A succulent Chinese meal. I fucking love that video.
Get your hand off my penis. Best part ever.
Are you ready to receive my limp penis? How dare you? Get your hands.
I see you know your judo. Well,
I've seen that video a few times. I can't.
You guys are hung up on penis.
Oh, you never seen the video before? Gentlemen, this is democracy. Okay,
All
I
right,
can pull it up.
Oh yeah, no, you should definitely share it. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. All right, let me just pull it up real quick. So, what's up?
Hey, how you
Eskimo
doing,
kisses?
Camaro? Yeah, Eskimo
absolutely. Yeah. Eskimo.
All the ditty, including the baby oil. Let's get this slip and slide.
All
going.
right, there we go. Okay. Let's see. Let me see. All right. Yep. And share my screen. Share screen.
Share it. Share it.
Share it. Okay.
Share it. I don't think it's copyright either.
I don't think so. Yeah, you see it? Oh, here we go.
You just assured me that I could speak.
Sit down inside the car. We're not assuring anything. We're under arrest.
Look, I'm under what? Gentlemen, this is democracy manifest. Have a look at the headlock here. See that chap over there? Get your hand off my penis! This is the bloke who got me on the penis before.
Yeah, Laneling, I might take up on that then.
Eating a meal, a succulent Chinese meal. Oh, that's a nice headlock, sir. Oh, yes. I see that you know your judo well. Good one. And you, sir, are you waiting to receive my limp penis? Now, get your hands off me.
Come see the violence inherent in the system. Help, help.
What
I'm being
the
repressed.
Fuck, Alex accidentally exited the panel.
He ran away.
That is the
The
best
argument
voice
was too
ever.
strong.
he probably just went
This
to.
is democracy.
He probably that was hilarious. What is that from? Like, there was just a regular arrest,
It's an
or
arrest. Yeah, it was a political arrest. I think it was South Africa or Australia. I can't remember. It's fucking hilarious.
that's
Democracy.
funny.
Yeah.
Alex dropped that nuke and ran.
Yep. So what it is, the story behind it is the guy apparently he was doing a drunken disorderly in the restaurant, so they were arresting him, and it's just becoming. It was like I think it happened back in the 80s or 90s. Like I couldn't stop laughing the first time I saw that. I shared with my wife Claire. We could not stop laughing. So yes,
It's even better if it's not important. If it's like something small.
Yeah,
It's even better.
It became a big deal, but it was something incredibly small.
As is with most things, start small and it becomes big.
Well, the first time I
Ooh.
saw it, it was on Veterans Day, and it
Why
says
is
you're being
it?
dragged out of the Applebee's for the third time after your free meal at Applebee's. It's like, gentlemen, this is democracy manifest. Like that's when I first saw it.
A hand job. All right, back to propaganda, gentlemen
Yes.
and lady. All right, Bones, I'll let you kick it off. I think you were last on it.
I'm kind of tuckered out on the propaganda stuff, but I can keep going. But
we can actually, Alex. Let's see.
Yes.
yeah, I
do
think
you have
Alex can.
any thoughts on propaganda?
Oh boy. I think that, when it comes down to people saying that our government should be transparent, you're picked the wrong fucking government right now. But I do think that the government should be more transparent. But here's the thing, though. Our country is filled with people that can't handle the truth, honestly. Like, if there's a lot of things that we learned about, like, for example, people don't even want actual history taught because they're afraid of how people might react to it. Like, for example, if people read the book, Howard Zinn's A Real People's History of the United States, you'll learn some crazy shit about what happened, but people don't want that to be told because they can't handle it, honestly. But, I'm not saying it's okay. I do think the government should be more transparent. I think we should have the most transparent government. I do believe, like, policy should get pushed forward, like bills, any bills that get pushed forward should be read and understood at a 10th grade reading level. Because, like I said, when I came on here, Sarah, the average reading level for 53% of Americans is 6th grade. and that's a huge detriment. I do think that bills need to be read and understood. And the thing is, like, our media plays a lot into this echo chamber as well. Like, they're part of the process. They could be doing their jobs, but the thing is like, we could be talking about issues that are really important. Like, for example, a hospital just closed down in bumfuck Indiana. Now thousands of people are out of job, and people have to get moved to nursing homes. But then next thing you know, you're gonna hear Kim Kardashian had a bowel movement yesterday, and it's gonna envelop the entire media. People are gonna be talking about that for the
That
next 6
shit
weeks.
was stanky, brother. It was a bad one.
So actually, you said that Americans can't handle the truth, right? I hear that, but I also say they can't handle it because we haven't allowed them the ability to show that they can or can't. We haven't even tried it. We haven't even fucking tried it. We've been feeding them horse shit and bullshit and lies by omission since who knows God, God knows when. And I think that if you treat everyone like a fucking toddler, they're going to act like a fucking toddler, and they're not being informed properly. They're all being misinformed. Then that's what creates all of this hot mess of the propaganda to drop down because nobody's actually fucking informed. If the government could be more transparent and let people know what the fuck is actually going on with all of our shit, then maybe we wouldn't see the news media say bullshittery. We wouldn't see the headlines mixing shit up because we can tell the news and media outlets, hey, fuck you. You said this wrong. Here's why, because here's the truth. And that's why I say the if you treat us all, if you infantilize us this way, we're only going to continue being infants and throwing fucking temper tantrums over headlines. Go ahead, Bones.
So on that point, I actually disagree. I think the government, with regard to the 2020 election, they tried really hard to show the evidence that the actual elections were fair and balanced, and that was actually done in part through the fact that there was so much vetting going on with that specific election. All the attempts to overturn certain parts of the voter roll or find fraud, like all of that was like a good way of demonstrating government transparency, in my opinion. And it showed
Except
that
very
we can
little of it was
demonstrate that we
allowed to
do
go
have
through.
I'm sorry, God's favorite aunt was not finished. But that demonstrates that we did actually have the most safe and fraud-free election.
Bill Barr's words.
Hell yeah.
Except most of those challenges were even allowed to go through. They were dismissed on standing instead of
Because they
merits.
had no standing. You know what that
So-
means?
Well, who had standing then? Like the whole requirements they were
So-
putting out
Judges
weren't
will
even
be able to
possible.
decide.
So does Texas have a say in what California does with their voting?
In terms of federal elections, yes, because
Well,
who's gonna have standing on the
unfortunately,
state? The states
unfortunately, elections
create
are run by the
federal
states,
government,
so
you
you're
retard.
already cooked
No,
right
the
there.
states create the federal
Mister,
government.
I actually passed civics. No, you fucking didn't.
you
If you
didn't.
know this, states actually have the power to govern their elections by the state.
Yes, they run the elections, but you're trying to say that they don't have an effect on each other is wrong because they are responsible for forming the federal government.
Texas cannot
So if there's a
challenge
dispute
California's way of
between
doing things.
California and Texas, then who do they
Well,
go to? They have,
why
the
should
Supreme Court
Texas-
is their only option.
So why do you think Texas had a right to sue Pennsylvania over how they felt they ran their elections? So I'm like, why do you
Because
think
they had
that's
a
okay?
problem with how, it was for a federal election though.
Yeah, so the people in Pennsylvania should be able to levy this agreement, not
It's
Texas.
crazy how you can't wrap your mind around how this is fucking bullshit. Dude.
The issue,
No, it's
the issue,
crazy to
Ant,
me
here's-
that this isn't just completely obvious to you. Like
No,
how
Ant,
you
it's
even
not
can
obvious.
argue
States
this? It's
can't tell other
retarded.
states what to
Ant,
do. That's why we have a federal
Ant,
government, man.
Here's
They're
the
not
issue.
telling them what to do. They're trying to redress a conflict through the
There
courts.
was-
You fucking
Ant,
retard.
Ant, you
That's
gotta
what the
understand.
courts are for, you dumbass.
This
Ant,
is
you got to understand
he's so
something, though,
mad.
because the problem is though is that all
Oh my
all the states that were in question were states that Trump lost, but he did not question the states that he won. Only the states that he lost.
Why would he do that? Why would he question where he's won?
Because
Well,
he's
if you-
a sore loser. That's why he's a fucking
Because he
sore
has to be
loser.
If he was
fair,
concerned
no,
about fraud,
he's
he'd be
gonna
concerned
fight
about
his-
fraud in all
he's gonna
states
fight his-
possible, not
he's
just
not
the ones that
gonna
he
fight the other
lost.
side.
God's favorite aunt. Holy shit.
Not a fair person. I'm sorry.
He's not going to fight for the other
ISIS
person.
says Does anyone think that Asmongold is a legit news source at this point? Why or not? And I'll just start to
Fuck
say I
no!
only
He should
I
clean his
only
room.
just discovered Asmongold like a few weeks ago. I never knew he existed before recently. So uh, I would I don't really consider any streamer necessarily a news source because they get their information from the news. Most of them, unless they're kind of reporting on something like a Supreme Court ruling that just happened or something like that. You know, so on and so forth. But overall, I don't think there any of them are news sources if they get their news source from another source. Go ahead.
Asmongold's just a WoW streamer that kind of crossed over to politics somewhat recently.
Nobody should take that guy seriously, but he has a massive following. But you know, then
does.
again, there's a lot of people that have massive followings that I think nobody should take seriously. like
Hassan
XQC,
Piker.
Hassan,
I
yeah,
like
fuck
Hassan.
that.
Well, the thing is,
Hassan
I'm not
should,
even a big fan of Hassan. Well, the thing is with Hassan Piker, sometimes a broken clock is right twice a day, but I don't agree with the guy all the time. Sometimes I think he's kind of fucking cringe. So, but
I don't trust Hassan either. I think that
I'm not
as far as like
saying
the
you
left
guys
is
did.
concerned, he's like one of the more insane voices.
I wasn't really looking to like accuse anybody. It was just he's in the same category as Asmongold.
Yeah, yeah.
They're
I was just giving a corollary.
Well, Asmongold is intentionally ignorant. He goes out of his way to say that he doesn't look anything up. He doesn't try to learn. He doesn't try to improve.
certain
That's-
honesty in that.
That's fair. That's fair.
Sure, there's a certain honesty, but then you give your opinion on shit.
But at least I know that he's just giving me his thoughts on something. He's not just regurgitating something from somewhere else. He actually understands.
Yeah, but he's
what he's talking
uninformed.
about.
No, that
He
doesn't
may be
show that he
uninformed.
understands
That's-
anything. That's the exact
absolutely.
opposite. He doesn't understand anything.
Where do you think understanding
You
comes
guys really
from?
do live in like topsy-turvy world through the looking glass.
You think like
So
only
wait,
certain
wait.
people are blessed with understanding? Like you can come about
No,
it
no,
yourself. You can come to an understanding on your own.
Well, yeah. He specifically says that he doesn't research his opinion. So why the fuck would anyone care about his opinions or treat them as
I don't know.
like anything informed? What?
I don't know. I'm just saying it's just an honest place to come from. I'm not saying it's good or bad.
I appreciate the walk back.
Earlier,
Sure, I will agree with that. Is it
Oh,
an honest
walk
place
back.
to
That's
come
what
from?
I said originally, and you're like, "Oh."
No, you said he was informed, and he walked back on that.
I did not say he was informed. I never
Yes, that's
said-
why I disputed it.
That's not what I said.
I get you have tracking errors. Same reason why you also have civics errors because your brain don't work. But we can
No, because
resolve
I
that later.
disagree with you. You've got to resort to name calling. I get it.
No, I'm refuting your arguments and then insulting you.
You haven't
Big
refuted
difference.
anything.
Yes,
You
I
made-
have.
Your whole evening tonight has been assertions without any sort of supporting evidence. And we're
So
supposed to accept
is me citing JGG not me asserting and actually providing evidence, or is that just me asserting JGG
Unless you're
versus
reading
Trump?
it to me in the relevant sections, then I don't give a shit whose name you're dropping.
Well, I provided the source. You said I wasn't providing sources, so that's false.
Shots fired.
Scathing.
So we've entered into a time where we don't actually have journalism anymore, and I think that's fundamentally a bigger issue. Where you report it on both sides, now we have media, and it's propaganda. You either hear one
Oh,
side
shit.
or you hear the other, and you rarely hear anything in between.
Well, it's also
And-
clickbait too. Oops, what Bones? What happened?
Oh shit.
Oh, his
Well,
device.
we also live in the age of the oligarch where they can just buy like the Washington Post and then fire everybody.
All right. Well,
Or
fine.
like CBS, where Barry Weiss buys CBS and actually like nixes certain
Okay, we're
stories from
fine.
being aired on CBS. That's not shady at all.
I mean, like, yeah, I feel like news is clickbait. It's when I said, like, when the Sarah Stock and Elijah Schaefer thing hit, right? I had this moment of clarity when I thought, God, streamers are all connected to the news. We're no different. None of us are different. The only difference is most of us do this from home, and we just randomly started in our basement somewhere or something like that. News media is more like the corporate version of streamers. But we're all so interconnected, and it's such a small space that we're like, you could probably play the 6 degree. Ben, hello. Welcome, my friend. How was work? We're working on the farm. Everything work out well?
Oh yeah, good day. Good day. Had a real good day.
Did you have your hot cocoa yet?
Right here.
Oh, I love that.
He's got that shit in a beer stein. That's what I'm talking about. That's fucking
Yeah,
going
he,
big.
Yeah,
he
actually,
showed us
Mr.
that the other night.
How do you make your hot cocoa, Mr. Baldwin? I'm curious. 'Cause I
I
also make
do.
hot cocoa on occasion.
I was gonna say you have to ask
Oh,
Mrs. Balderson.
all right. So that's a Mrs. Balderson question. I'm very curious about this because I've got my own recipe. So
Well, if we don't have, like, he prefers some Swiss Miss, but if we don't have that, then I'll be making it at home.
She has a thing with nibs that she does.
Cacao nibs.
Cacao nibs.
oh,
She
that's
does.
neat. I have not tried cacao nibs yet. I do like squares of Ghirardelli. I think recently I've done 72%. I chop it all up, throw it into a bowl, mix it with a mixture of like a heavy cream and milk. I usually go a little bit heavier on the cream because I want a thick consistency. I use also our abuelita's the powder for that to give it a little bit of extra flavor. Occasionally I'll do cinnamon with it too, and nutmeg on top. But outside of that, vanilla extract and then espresso.
He can't have caffeine, so there's no espresso in his. Unless you
Yeah.
want to have him have seizures on camera.
Oh God.
Yeah, would not want that.
No.
No, any kind of an upper whatsoever, even like coffee, is too much for me.
My condolences, sir. My condolences,
Yeah,
because
you're
I don't
missing
know.
out on the
I would.
best.
I don't know where I'd be without coffee. Like coffee, just straight black. Gotta have my coffee in the morning.
Yep.
What about homemade hooch? Anybody drink homemade hooch besides me?
Nope.
I've drank homemade hooch before.
I make
It's-
mead.
Right.
I might
There you
need to
go.
try that though.
I make
There you go,
mead.
right there.
There you go.
Oh, mead?
There you
Hell
go.
yeah, mead is good.
Looks like
I love mead.
gasoline.
But-
Ben,
What'd you
since
say? Like
you've-
gasoline? What'd you
it
say?
looks like gasoline. Ben, since you have made your way to the panel, I've been holding this topic, and we're about to make a topic shift. And the show may be winding down for the night. I'm not sure. We're at 1 out of 10 on the dono goal, and we got 40 minutes left on the clock for the chat. So they could come through towards the very end. That's fine and dandy if they do. But I want to make sure we get this topic in with you here, sir, because we were just talking about recently. I sent you an article, or I think I tagged you in something regarding the beef industry and the regulations that are now coming down, and you had some thoughts to that. But then I also saw this topic, and I thought, oh my God, this would be great because maybe this is why they're doing all of these regulations to try to push lab grown meat. I don't know. But the question is lab grown meat, is it an ethical solution or unnatural abomination? And please feel free to tie it in with the beef regulations or switch around with it as you deem fit.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That is 100% an abomination. I'm a vegetarian and I won't touch the shit. Any of those Impossible burgers, any of that stuff. You're literally just a factory that's just a chemical shitstorm. Like there's no nutritional value to these items at all. There's like 4 times the sodium in them, and the amount of work that it takes to produce them. This is all just to appease the for some reason there's a real fight against methane, and I don't really understand it. Methane, in my opinion, is really the gas of the future. It's when you look at it, there's, especially from a carbon standpoint, methane has the most bang for the buck. So when you're looking at any hydrocarbon gas, methane has 1 carbon and 4 hydrogens, and then every other name is just adding another carbon, and then you also get more hydrogens, but you never get a better than 4-to-1 ratio. That doesn't happen. So when and it burns basically in the same heads as propane. So like my bathroom, my future plan is to put a methane tank outside of the house, a digester, where it literally, you take your human crap. I've got pig crap, which is even better, chicken. You chuck it in there. When it ferments, it releases methane. You punch that into your house, and now you've got free natural gas. You can get a propane fridge that runs for free. You got a water heater. I mean, this is the shit right here, right? You're just taking
No,
your own.
literally, pun intended. This is the shit.
Exactly. Exactly.
You
You're
make
just
a good
taking
salesman.
and
Mhm.
when you look, they've been attacking the beef industry for years, and it's been very insidious, and nobody talks about it. What they did was they regulated all these beef processing plants out of existence. Absolutely.
Alderstown.
Yeah, just thousands of these plants have been shut down, and now it's to the point where, like, I live in Humboldt, California. They shut our plant down also. So I think the nearest plant is 6 hours away one way. This means I'm renting a semi. I'm sending it down there. That shit, especially with the cost of transportation anymore in California, gas is where I live. Gas is still above $5 a gallon. Like, transportation is crazy expensive. You lose all of your profits. You send them to the barn, and you have a bad day at the barn. You've done come up negative, and it just ran everybody clean out of business. This isn't we have a beef shortage because we don't have a processing ability. So this is why they're first going to Argentina. But I would absolutely say that then secondary, that's all going to be, because once we start importing more beef, the price of beef is going to skyrocket. It's going to skyrocket, and then it's just going to become more sustainable not to eat it straight out.
Now, what about chicken?
The chicken industry is so disgusting. I would not eat a chicken out of any place that you buy it. If you one time, and this was by accident, I asked. We went to Tractor Supply. Never get chickens at Tractor Supply, and they told me they were barred rocks. And I even asked to make sure. I was like, "Are you damn sure those aren't the frickin' Franken chickens?" And they're like, "No, they're barred rocks." I took them home.
What are barred rocks?
I kind of want to contest the
Little,
nutrition
gray
claims,
waves in them,
but
and
we'll
they're
see.
real excellent egg layers. They're also a fairly big bird, so the roosters are they're kind of a dual purpose chicken. And
Yeah,
known to be
nutritionally,
very
I don't
friendly
think
on
this
the
is
farm.
true.
Mhm. And now, what are the Frankenstein chickens? Are
That-
they?
That's what Tyson. That's what Tyson raises. Tyson chicken. All those. If you eat KFC any place, so what those a barred rock or any of the other 100 kinds of chickens that I have down below take about a year before they're full sized. If you were going to eat the chicken, before they start laying eggs, these Franken chickens, inside 4 months, these things are the biggest fucking birds on the farm, and they're full sized. Inside 7 months, their feathers started shedding off, and they started getting really bad cancer. And because we didn't eat the chickens, I gave them to my kids for presents. My son used to go out, and he had this one that he just loved. The chicken was such a dickhead too. Like, man, I saw him throw another bird, pick it up, and throw it off the roof. Like, geez.
So if we can create meat in a lab with the exact same nutritional value and not have to put it through all of the things that, I mean, take out all the animal cruelty and stuff like that, put it through all the things that have chemicals and additions and stuff like that. If we can grow the exact same thing, which is simply just protein in the exact same form in a lab, minus all the other bad shit, with it being in a cleaner environment, and it can give you the exact same nutrition, would it be bad from an ethical standpoint?
From an ethical standpoint, probably not, but from a nutritional standpoint, absolutely. You can't tell me that they'd make something that has the same nutrition. That's just like I don't understand why in today's science, especially with food, they pretend like things derived from different sources, even though they're chemically the same, are the same, because our bodies fucking tell us the difference. We end up having reactions to other sources. It's the source material. We don't have a great enough understanding to know what that difference is, but there is a difference.
No, I'm not a big like biochemistry guy, but I'm pretty sure that they claim that it just because certain chemicals come from different sources doesn't mean your body isn't necessarily going to process them differently. I think we'd have to go into specific claims regarding that, but also Mr. Balderson.
They do things like grow mold nasty citric acid, where you assume citric acid is a derivative of grapefruit or an orange or something. No, it's a derivative of black mold. That I understand that they're trying to tell you that.
wouldn't that just be then black mold instead of the citric acid coming out of that then?
Well, the citric acid's is extracted from it. It's not being extracted from the way you're thinking it would be extracted.
I'd have to look into that, but in particular about I wanted to contest the nutritional claims. Did you say that like Impossible
hang on
Burger?
really quick. I'm confused. What did you just say, Balterson? Are you saying that they're getting citric acid that they put into stuff from black mold instead of like getting it from citrus-based fruits?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't that prove the point that you can get something out of something else and it's still the same substance?
When I said that, I pretexted that with, I'm aware that they say this. They do things like this. So then going, oh, isn't that it? I said that out the fucking gate. I'm aware that they do this. That don't mean that they're right.
That just sounds like it's the black mold triggering the immune responses and not the citric acid itself. I'd probably be able to grant that the black mold is bad, but like the citric acid, no.
Again, they pretend like it's the same. It's not.
No. They say that it's comparable. That they're like a citric acid from black mold is a comparable substitute from citric acid from citrus fruits. Not that they're the exact same, and that's because they're made. They're extracted with different processes, and that black mold specifically. There's some remnants left, like trace amounts, at levels that's deemed safe by the FDA.
I mean, we can definitely agree that the food industry does fucked up things to try and feed you things. Like I won't turn that down. The stuff we're kind of just now admitting about artificial sweeteners, aspartame and the like, you know, they'll try to feed you anything, including industrial waste. So I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to be completely pro, food industry. They do some fucked up shit.
I almost think we're going to hit a point where homesteading is going to be the only survival, like the only way to survive anymore without, like, there's going to be city people and then there's going to be homesteaders. I don't think we're going to have
getting to the point. Sister, we're already there.
Yeah, if anybody that's a fan of dystopian works, exists in almost every dystopian work, like Brave New World. You have the people that live in the cities, and then the people that live out in the non-human zones. And if you look,
it's been a rich people dream for centuries that they could split humanity into two groups, and that they would be the humans who evolve and go into space. Yeah, there are some crazy fucking rich people in the world.
We're living in a hellscape of Brave New World and 1984 as we speak. Like in mind.
I mean, I partially
it
don't.
Really, it's like
disagree.
a crush of a bunch. Of
it just depends on the claims.
You can throw Demolition Man in there, like all the people needing safe spaces and their little closet to cry in, and the government literally is just like that guy earlier that was banging on about.
That is really funny.
Giving up all my rights to be safe. Well, I don't fucking know. Maybe try reading some of the founders' fucking words about
man who would
I agree that TPUSA needs a hug box for the halftime show.
Deserve neither.
But
what'd you say, Orthodox guy?
A man that would give up his liberty for security will get neither and doesn't deserve either.
I actually have a really interesting reductio with that regarding the First Amendment. So Orthodox, can you scream fire in a theater?
It depends if there's an actual fire or not.
Well, okay, so what if there isn't a fire in a theater and there's a guy like just screaming, "There's a fire! There's a fire! There's a fire!"
No,
is that protected under 1A?
Because
you're not allowed to incite public panic or violence.
Yeah, but that's sacrificing liberty for security now.
No, not at all.
No, you're putting other people at risk.
You could put someone at risk and get them trampled or harmed.
Yeah, but you're sacrificing the. Wait, hold on. You're sacrificing.
You do not have the liberty to harm people or put people in situations where they are brought home.
Well, yeah, that
selling a gun
and that
to a
entails security.
schizophrenic puts people in harm's way too.
Not inherently.
Yes, they're higher risk factor than the general public.
If you yell fire in a crowded area, or yell gun in a crowded area, or you're bombing an airport, you are increasing the danger factor.
You're not allowed to say it because it puts people at risk. It makes them insecure. By not permitting someone to yell fire or gun by not permitting someone to say fire or gun in a theater. by not permitting someone to say fire a gun in a theater, you're increasing the overall security that people feel in that environment while sacrificing the minimal liberty of
You're not
being
at
able to
liberty to
yell at
harm.
anything.
You're
Yeah,
not
that's
at
just a
liberty to
contradiction.
harm people.
You're
It's not a
just in, you're,
contradiction.
yeah,
You
that
don't
is
have the
absolutely.
You don't have the right to
So,
harm people.
so
You
are
have the right
people
to keep and bear arms.
so are people more safe in an environment where someone is allowed to say fire in a theater or not?
It depends on if there's a fire or not.
Okay, so if there's no fire at all and people are just saying it in bad faith,
Then it's illegal and you're not allowed to do it because
why
puts
is it
people in
why is
harm's
it
way.
illegal? Why is it illegal?
Because you're not allowed to put people in harm's way. You were taking
Yeah, it
their
threatens
autonomy
people's
away.
safety. It makes the security level
Uh-huh.
lower than it would otherwise
Are we
be.
going to just start executing schizos because they're a potential threat? Because with or without a gun, a schizophrenic is a threat. Look
That's
at the
way
young
different.
lady who
We
was
just won't
stabbed.
sell them a
Yeah,
gun.
yeah, which is why we don't
They
sell them
have the right
guns.
to bear arms because they are a human
Like
being.
this is just yeah, you're twisting yourself into
regarding
pretzels
that-
orthodox.
Well,
You know what?
regarding. Go ahead.
Would you
I
call
get- I
a
get-
schizophrenic
I
well
get-
ordered?
I
after-
get smug liberals want to have a got you, but the simple fact of the matter is you have a right to keep and bear arms. You do not have a right to put someone in harm's way. Plain and simple.
Would you
Alex, do you want to
describe a
say something? Because I want to
schizophrenic as
invoke
well
another
ordered?
date. I want to go
Well,
on a date with Orthodox.
Yeah.
Well,
Regulate.
hold on, because in Justice Holmes, it was what 1919. The the specter of a man falsely shouting "fire" in a theater into the First Amendment law. Nearly 100 years later, this remains the most enduring analogy of constitutional law. Has been relied on in hundreds of constitutional cases and has permeated popular discourse. But was it that somebody actually yelled "fire" and people actually were harmed from it?
It increases the risk of harm, regardless. I could,
That's
yeah.
not what I asked. Did somebody actually yell "fire" and did problems come from it?
It's a hypothetical. It just increases the risk that people are harmed by inducing panic.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
Like there probably is a case where someone did it in bad faith. I'd have to go look up individual instances. But yeah, can I go on a date with Orthodox real quick?
Oh, hold on. It says the person who shouted "fire" in a crowded theater was a recognizable stock villain of popular culture, condemned in newspapers, magazines, and books from coast to coast. The analogy lifted by Holmes from a federal prosecutor in Cleveland was rooted in this larger world of popular culture, which would have understood the analogy as shorthand for stupid, harmful speech. Recovering this forgotten world also answers the question: why do okay, all right. Along the way, we'll encounter a real. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. And shout out to Crack Baby for the Big 10. Love to the panel. We love you too.
Shout out to Crack Baby.
All right.
Never
So
thought I'd say
Orthodox
that.
are sorry.
Oh, he just stepped away for a second. He said he has to
Ah,
get some water.
damn, that's fine.
But okay, here's where again we run into the gun rights. This is where we run back to that because if everyone has a gun, right? We're not harming each other, but I have the ability to defend myself if somebody decides to trample over and impede on my rights. I can rightfully defend myself because I have that right to defend myself. Same thing with yelling "fire" in a theater. Number one, it is my right to be in that public space just as much of it is yours, but I also have the right to. Oh, where was my thought going on that one? My brain just stopped.
It's
It
all right.
literally stopped.
You have a right to free of panic. That's what you were going to, Sarah.
I what?
Right of panic, you said. Well, here's my only problem, like with the whole thing. Like a person with that has schizophrenia, they usually don't have control unless they're heavily medicated about what they're doing. So basically, they could start conducting actions they don't even realize that they're doing. Basically, but like when it comes down to the Second Amendment, it's people say, "Oh, everybody should own firearms." Honestly, I'm the other kind of mind says, "No, the fuck you should. Not everybody should own fucking guns because some people are completely irresponsible." Now, I'm a firm believer. Now, Balderson, him and I, we're gonna have a conversation about this a while back, and we just never got around to it. But like, for example, if you have a severe mental disorder, I don't think you should own a firearm whatsoever. You should prioritize your health over a fucking gun. I think if you have a history of violence, like domestic violence, and you spend time in prison, I don't think you should own a fire anymore because you already show that you have a history of violence. Like there are some people I don't think they should own guns.
You're a radical leftist revolutionary. You shouldn't be allowed to own guns.
I just think that it's common
Notice how
sense.
this list keeps on growing.
Yeah,
This
you
is
notice
why
how
the
no matter what regime, no matter
This is
what
why you say no
regime.
the first time.
Exactly.
Because this list just keeps on growing.
These are really great platitudes, but you probably would agree.
Jackasses, the right and left do. Take our rights away and tell us what good guys
no
do.
matter what regime, once you give the government the ability to strip you of your rights for whatever reason, they will constantly and always expand that. Just like in the Soviet Union and other countries where they gave mental illness as an excuse to imprison people and take away their rights, they kept extending it to eventually it was against the political opposition. The right to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. If you are a criminal that does bad things and you do them bad enough that you cause someone the ability to live their life, i.e., you cripple them or you kill them, you deserve to be executed. And once you pay, if you do not do that and you pay your debt to society and come back out, you should have the ability to keep and bear arms and to vote and the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, all of it.
Well, they're not allowed to vote. That's the thing. They're not allowed to vote. That's the thing.
I said they should be, i.e., they ought to be.
But they're not.
Yes, they are.
No, they're not. No,
it's state to state, bro. It's state to state. Look it the fuck up.
All right, I'll look it up real quick since you just want to fucking just chill out. Hold on.
Okay, here it is. Hold on. Let me come back to the free speech thing. This is a good kind of like summary of it. This is why I wanted the history. That's why I wanted to know, did somebody actually say it? But in 1919, the Supreme Court unanimously upheld Schneck and Baer's convictions, although they argued that the conviction let me back it up. During World War I, Congress passed the Espionage Act of 1917. Some of what this law prohibited seems like common sense to us now. Stealing documents related to national security to give the nation's enemies, for example. But other activities made illegal by this law will sound surprising to modern readers. For instance, the law prohibited speaking out against military recruiting efforts. Charles Schneck and Elizabeth Baer, socialist activists, were opposed to U.S. participation in war and sent out leaflets encouraging men to peacefully disobey the draft. They argued that the draft was a form of involuntary servitude prohibited by the 13th Amendment. After a law enforcement raid at the Socialist Party headquarters, they were charged with violating the Espionage Act. In 1919, the Supreme Court unanimously upheld Schneck and Baer's convictions. Although they had argued that the conviction violated their free speech, which is understood, Justice Oliver Wendell Holmes found that there was no conflict between the Espionage Act and Constitution. Here's where the reasoning comes into play. This is where the theater phrase comes in. Holmes uses the analogy to introduce truism. The most stringent protection of free speech would not protect a man in falsely shouting fire in a theater and causing panic. This prosecution, he argued, was like that scenario. The fact that the nation was involved in a war meant that many things might be said in time of peace are such a hindrance to its effort that the utterance will not be endured so long as men fight, and that no court regard them as protected by any constitutional right. So this is history matters. So basically saying, yeah, if it's a normal fucking day and you go into a theater and say fire, fire, right? And okay, nobody's dying over this. Now, if that town has had mass fire issues, like you're in California, right? And there's forest fires coming into town and all of these issues going on, and you yell into a theater and yell fire, it is a reasonable understanding that, oh my God, like this is not the time to fucking do this to us, right? So that's what the history provides us, the background, saying in times of peace, when everything's all right, you fucking say whatever you want, fine. When we're at war or shit's stressful, it's tight. Just like if I went around my neighborhood right now and started blowing a whistle, what would everybody think?
Yeah, they're probably in danger, maybe. But
So this woman needs
but
help.
No,
either way, it just
ice.
sounds like
It's ice.
they were
It's ice. Come on. But that's what I'm saying. Is it depends on what's going on. If we're at war and you're telling people not to join the military, you are impeding on something that the U.S. needs to come together to do. So that's what they're using the analogy as. Like if things are bad and things are high tension, high stress, shut the fuck up. But if we're at peace, fine. Tell everybody to do it.
In other words, fuck off, commie. That's what he was saying.
They should get rid of the draft period, though. I mean, we should get rid of the selective service program. We don't need it anymore. So, but no, they should get rid of it. There's no need for it anymore.
Why would we not need it?
We don't need it anymore.
If shit had popped off with Russia, you don't think we'd need some fucking more bodies?
Shit popped off with China.
Shit
We
didn't
need
pop-
warm bodies.
No, shit didn't pop with Russia. That's the point.
It came fucking a cunt hair close.
But it
and
didn't.
we're not out of it yet.
No, but
we are not out of it yet.
But here's the thing. Here's the reason why, and I'll
Pretending
answer your question. But I'll answer your question. Okay, the reason why we don't need it is because first things first. I'd much rather have an all volunteer fighting force from the get go. Because when it comes down to the draft, guess who gets affected the most? The middle and lower income class people, not the fucking wealthy. So it's not exactly a fair system now, is it?
Well, comrade, that is why we should abolish the bourgeoisie.
But you forget one thing, comrade. Even wealthy people get pulled by their bootstraps.
Yet they do not. You look at the current president of the United States. He get himself bone spur and he not go to war. Okay, he just not.
Comrades, this is a class struggle against the proletariat. Okay.
Yeah. But no, like there should not be a selective service whatsoever. Like if you're gonna have a selective service, then nobody is safe from it. Everybody has to do it. But I was gonna answer Balderson's question, but I'll wait for him to come back. But yeah,
everyone should sign up for the selective
No,
service. If women can vote,
need a
they should have
selective
to
service,
sign
and
up.
shit does go south with even like a country like North Korea. You're gonna need more bodies to protect the home front.
Fuck no.
No,
We
our
don't need them.
it's our
Yes, we do.
technological advantage. So,
You
okay,
are
so first,
speaking in tongues, sir.
yeah, wait,
we don't
Ashtray,
need
wait.
the selective service whatsoever.
Wait,
we don't need
wait.
it.
So there's a common ground here. Yes, we do need the
So you
selective
think we have
service.
you think we have
but
enough
Alex-
American patriots to stand up and
Hold on,
actually
hold
take at the
on,
ready?
hold on
You
a
sir,
minute,
out of your
Ashtray.
tree.
Oh, hold on a minute, Ashtray. Alex is not correct in the fact that we should not dissolve the selective service, but we should focus on building a strong volunteer-only service because people who volunteer perform better than conscripts, time and time
currently
again.
do that
That's
because
all the more reason to
the
get rid of
current
it.
model.
I don't want people to be forced to join the military because it actually, like I said, affects the middle and lower class people first. That's what
The
it does.
mechanism is there
Fuck your
for
class struggle,
a
Alex.
peer-to-peer
Okay,
It's
I'm
not a class
sorry.
struggle. It's based upon historical fact.
Well, it also puts a guard on whether or not the nation itself feels that the war is just. If they feel it's just, more people will volunteer. If they don't feel it's just, they won't volunteer.
Again, I'd much rather have an all volunteer fighting force because you're gonna have a better outcome than a
We
bunch
all
of people
would.
that get. No, you're not. Instead
But
of
they-
having
when's
people
the
that
last time? When's the last time they met their recruiting goals now?
now, like, why does that fucking matter though?
Because
you need volunteers for a volunteer fighting
We're not at
force.
war.
Well, but here's the thing though. Like, here's the reason why it's not that big of a deal because people were
You know,
actually
we're
finding
at
more.
war than
Well,
what meeting is. What are you
here's-
talking about?
But the thing is, like, people were actually finding better career opportunities outside the military. I don't think you should have to serve the military to become better parts
That's
of
not the
society.
point. That's not
It is the point.
No,
It is
it's
the
not.
point.
You're
It is
not
the point.
understanding. You're not understanding the purpose of the selective
Yeah,
service.
I-
We are in
there
a
is no purpose.
peer-to-peer conflict
There is no-
where we need
there
a
is no
lot
service.
of fucking people. You're not going to get enough volunteers to fight in that fight, and you don't have
How do
the
you know?
You don't have the ability to say
Dude,
no
Did you see how
because
many
they're
people joined up
invading.
after 9/11? Did you see how many people joined up after 9/11?
Yes,
people,
and you know that
people in
people
wheelchairs were lining
And,
up.
and there was
People
no
are
draft
lining up in
inside it.
wheelchairs.
There's
Not-
no draft
not-
inside it either.
I mean,
No,
I
I'd
would
be okay
argue.
with getting rid of it because I'm tired of hearing about it on feminism arguments. Fine, they just don't make anybody, go volunteer only. But
I
If you
agree.
keep the selective service, if you do keep the selective service, then everybody, regardless of class
Ab-
and gender, should be a part of it.
Absolutely.
And
right-
we already
right
have
now-
incentives.
Right now, all men are required to have it, even the wealthy.
No, they
I
should.
mean,
Everybody should.
We should explain that to.
you
Yeah,
can
we
I
say
don't
that,
think
and
anybody
when
should.
I looked it up,
Yeah.
when I looked it up on the last draft, over 60% of men were either wavered out, they abandoned the country, ran away, hid, whatever. Like over 60%. That's a lot. And that's ridiculous. And to say that, we should do it because it's good. Well, you're got over. So probably the 40% that did show up would have shown up anyways.
Well, I mean, that kind of goes
Well,
to what
somebody's
I was saying
got to
about
have
unjust
balls
war,
in the
right?
country.
Mm-hmm.
Except they
Do people think that they should
Except
have been
for
sent
ICE
to
agents.
Vietnam? Like it was an existential threat? Like that's what it comes down to, right?
Yeah, because think about it. If we are in a situation where we are in, say, an existential threat, we don't have the time to set this all back up so that we can do a draft because we aren't pulling in enough volunteers. It's better to have that mechanism and
Just
machinery
unleash
already in
the
place.
press gangs, brother.
And we've already more or less moved to a volunteer system. We don't draft. We haven't done a draft since the 70s.
Right. How many wars have we been
We
through?
have the ability. Do you want to play games with words or do you want to be honest? Like we've been in a few wars since then.
I think
That's
you
what I'm
know the
saying.
answer to that.
We've been through a few like military conflicts and we haven't needed
But
it.
these weren't peer to
Yeah, we
peer.
were fighting goat herders without the support of a superpower. That's
Sure,
the
and if we go
problem.
to a war again, we're not going to be
They
using
kept us-
1940s
We are
technology.
superpower.
And they
There was
kept us
never
in
a
those wars.
Yeah, we'll be fighting near peer competitors with like 1 billion fucking people in their country with some.
No,
with
what we'll
forces
need is a
with
shitload
it.
of people who know how to play video games because we're going to have a fucking billion fucking drones flying
That's
around.
really
This is
It's gonna be
That's what it's going to
And that's
be.
another point.
all of the
Do we
people in War
need-
Thunder are gonna be
But that's-
super
War
useful.
Thunder.
right?
I got you.
But that's kind of the point. Another point too is, do we need people like quantity for hand-in-hand combat? No, we don't.
Yes, actually.
I understand presence, but in terms of like we've got fighter jets, we've got missiles that launch from a point at somewhere around across the country. We've got drones. We've got all sorts of mechanics that like I don't think you're gonna have to ask people to go to war to play a joystick. You know
Look
what I
at
mean?
the conflict. Look at
national
the
video
conflict, and you look at the conflict in Ukraine right now. Two near-peer competitors are fighting with advanced technology. What is happening now is we are seeing Ukraine and Russia being bogged down into World War I style tactics where it's trenches in the countryside and street to street fighting. You will have to have bodies
Are
to
you
throw
calling
because the
what we're seeing in
technology.
Ukraine World War One tactics?
But is
Unironically, yes,
Ukraine-
Russia is doing that.
Is Ukraine as advanced as I mean, are they a superpower? like
China
us?
would be a near peer competitor. Russia, meh, but China certainly would be somewhat of a near peer competitor just because of the manufacturing advantage. What won World War I was not the technology; it was the
China has
manufacturing
one
advantage.
aircraft carrier. One.
They have
But
the
they're
largest fleet. They have
terrible.
the largest naval fleet right now, as of right now. Last I
But-
checked. I mean,
If
I'm
they
not
But,
saying
Because
it's-
it's all
I'm
fucking
not saying it's
destroyers,
great.
though.
Yeah.
it is, but
Aircraft
I'm not
carriers
saying
are
they're
the-
no way
only
to
ships.
project
Yeah,
air
but
power.
you don't win a war by sinking a navy. You have to occupy that territory, and that's where
And,
it's going to get ugly.
And the reason why the U.S. is such a amazing naval power is because we have a bunch of carriers. Just on a missile launching standpoint, it's much easier to take a jet with a bunch of missiles, carry it up to the air, and then drop the payload out over just launching it straight from a destroyer or submarine from a cost standpoint. Also, the fact that we get a lot more utility out of being able to survey areas of the ocean and the surrounding land with these aircraft, et cetera, et cetera. It's just aircraft carriers are the future of naval battles, which is also why the USS or the Trump class destroyers are really retarded. But that's a different topic.
Yeah, that aspect of naval warfare has not changed. Carriers since the 1940s have been numero uno as far as projecting your sphere of influence and power.
Yeah, I think World War I was the last big destroyer v destroyer naval battle.
Well, it wasn't usually destroyer on destroyer. Destroyers were for anti-submarine operations initially.
I mean,
in World War II, Japan had the largest battleship in the world, and it didn't mean
Correct.
a thing as soon as we destroyed all the carriers.
Midway. Oh, goodness gracious! Like when you actually saw that, holy shit! That I didn't watch the whole movie, but I saw bits and pieces of it. But the battle itself
Propaganda.
is fucking, the
Yeah,
movie's fucking
yeah.
badass though. The
Apollo
whole battle
13 is
is
also
just
propaganda.
We're talking about guys
The-
that are hard as woodpecker
But
lips.
the Yamamoto lives, okay? It is Allied propaganda that it was sunk for the Emperor.
I love the
All right.
original of Midway. Me and my grandfather used to watch it all the time.
That's dope.
Just a heads up, the dono goal is 2 out of 10. You got 8 minutes left, and if we're not going to finish that, we're gonna go ahead and raid over grid. And I think I'm gonna go out or something.
It's Friday,
I'm probably
yeah.
gonna clear. I'm actually gonna clear it myself because like I was in the middle of something, but I heard like a bunch of like really dumb shit being said on here. I was like, okay, I gotta jump in here for a little bit, but I didn't get a chance to like really go to. But Balderson, I will just concede one thing. When it comes down to it, there are some states that have permanent disenfranchisement. Some of them, it depends on the criminal conviction. Some voting rights are restored based on completion of sentence, including prison, parole, and probation. Some voting rights are restored to those on probation or parole, but have not been incarcerated during the last 5 years. Some states have voting rights restored automatically upon release from prison. So yes, I will concede it's based on state by state. So I will concede that.
Same thing with gun rights. Everybody thinks that you can't be a felon and have gun rights. Again, not true. It's a state by state. Where I'm from, in South Dakota, we're very constitutional about it. You serve your time, it's a done deal. Now they do make exceptions if you've abused that right already. They're like, we're gonna let you out, but you still don't.
They shouldn't though. They shouldn't.
They shouldn't. I agree. I agree, but I do understand if you've used a weapon to do violent things, giving you a weapon again is probably not brilliant.
At birth, every American man should be issued an RPG. Okay.
So wait. Oh, actually, this is a great circle back.
Dangerous. Why are we releasing them?
If a man served his time, he served his time. That's what else can you do, man?
Well, that's true. I'm just saying, like, if like it was like a parole situation.
Well,
I understand, but
parole and probation would not be considered until that's done. Would
you're
not
right.
be
You're right.
considered you
'Cause you're
finishing your
still
time.
you're still under the penalty of your conviction. I get it. Yes.
So
no, I understand. I actually agree that they should have it restored. I mean, I'm not against that. It's just I'm kind of thinking from their side of it.
I mean,
is,
you
trying
can
to-
just
trying to push
execute
back on them
public
saying
dangers. Is
that
it
if-
so hard to believe that you can just publicly execute public dangers?
what I was trying to say is, if they
Well-
think you're too dangerous to own a gun, then why are you still free? Why is it
Exactly.
actually
And if
fun?
you're schizophrenic to the point you're a threat to society, like if you're a threat to society because you're schizophrenic, why are you walking around in public anyway? You should be in a mental institution.
Yeah, and they also
But you
shouldn't have
can't-
guns.
Well,
Hey, if they're locked up in a mental institution,
If we're going to restrict their movement, why should they have guns?
hey, bro, I want
Generally-
every mental patient packing a 1911. All right, that's how you win 2 world
Yeah,
wars.
it just
baby.
seems like that seems really retarded. But we can
Well, I
actually
mean, you
now
can
that
be-
we're
you
back
can
on
be
the
a smug
subject here.
liberal all you want.
Yeah, so now that we're back on the subject here, do you think that like all of our constitutional rights are absolute?
100%.
Yeah.
That
why
is
So-
would they be?
the point to the
So I
Constitution.
can actually go back to the First Amendment here. We have what's known as the Brandenburg test that actually puts limits on freedom of speech, and the test specifically is that speech may only be prohibited if the speech is directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action, and the speech is likely to incite or produce such action. So that's the Supreme Court giving like limits to a speech
Again,
based off of
what did I say-
Brandenburg
what
v.
did I
v.
say
Ohio.
In the beginning of this conversation, you do not have the right to incite violence on people or harm people.
Yeah, that's supported by the Supreme Court. So you support limits to free speech.
Okay.
So that's going to be
You don't have, you
that-
don't
that's
have
gonna
the
be
freedom to bring harm to people. You
Yeah,
don't
so let's
have
just
the
wait.
freedom
So
to bring
Orthodox.
harm to people. You don't
Can
have
I
the
can I
freedom to
please
bring
can I please
harm
go on
to
a day with
people.
Orthodox real
You
quick
don't have the
to end
freedom
this
to-
panel? I feel
I
like
don't
this would be
wanna
really
date-
great.
I don't want to date. you.
Yes, baby. 1v1, baby. Let's go.
I'm
All
gonna
right. So
wear that ass out, baby
so
girl.
wait. All right. So do you believe that that all of our rights in the Constitution are absolute? Yes or no? I just want a simple answer here.
Yeah, you got a pretty mouth, right?
So do you want to answer the question? So I already know the answer to your question. Earlier you said there were no limits, but you agree with Brandenburg v. Ohio, which does impose limits on free speech, which means that there are limits to 1A. So that's going to be there are limits to free speech and there are not limits to free speech.
It's
That's a
not a
contradiction.
limit to
So why do
free
you hold
speech. You're
false
not-
Why do you hold
don't
contradictory
have-
views?
You do not have
So
the right
Orthodox, why do you hold
to
contradictory
incite harm
views?
on other people.
Why do you hold
Why are
contradictory
you
views?
retarded? You don't have the right.
If I'm
to
retarded,
incite
you're
harm
losing to a
on
retarded
other
person if you're
people.
holding contradictory views. If a retard can call out contradictions, then I don't know what the fuck
Well,
you're doing. You
I
must
mean,
be
it
like,
takes- it
you must be
takes a
fucking
retard to not
incapacitated.
understand that
You got
it
fucking
meant
bent
that
over.
retard
You got
does not
bent
understand
over, my
that
guy,
you don't have
by
the
a
right to
retard.
harm
How do you let yourself get bent over by a retard on this? Holy shit.
Depends on how hot she is. Anyway,
So yeah, how did you let
you
yourself
do
get
not
bent
have-
over
you-
by
you
me?
do not
A
have the
retard. I
right.
know you're getting bent over by me. How does that feel?
You got a pretty mouth, man. I like when you run it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
the
I have a pretty
simple
mouth,
fact-
but
simple
yeah,
fact of
this
the matter is,
contradictions are
you
false.
do not have the
So
right
why
to harm
why do you hold the
or
position
inflict
that there are
violence.
limits to free speech and there are not limits to free speech? If you believe that we shouldn't have any limits to our rights in the Constitution,
You do not have the right to incite violence. Or
I
physically
agree.
harm
That's a limit to
someone.
free speech.
That is not a limit to free speech.
So then you disagree with the Supreme Court then, because the Supreme Court thinks that what I just said was a limit to free speech.
You don't have the right to incite harm
Yeah,
on
so
someone.
yeah, and so does the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court agrees that there's a limit on free speech that includes inciting or producing imminent lawless action, and that the
Because you-
speech is
just 'cause you
also
talk
likely to
fast
incite said action. It's like
doesn't mean you're
that.
correct.
That's what the Supreme Court says. You
do
agree with the
not
Supreme
have
Court?
The right to incite violence or to physically harm someone. That is not a contradiction.
You can't keep giving me these layups. You can't keep giving me these layups. So you agree that there should be that there are limits to free speech.
Then that just says more about you.
Absolutely, yes. It says that I'm tracking the conversation really well, and you're not.
Brother man, you do not have the right to physically harm someone nor incite or organize violence against someone.
Yeah,
That
you
is
just said that there's
is-
a limit
that
to
is
free
not-
speech right there. We agree. Holy shit. Holy shit, man. Pucker up, man.
That's not a limit to free
pucker up,
speech.
man. Look, after I just bent you over and fucked you completely, look, I believe in aftercare, okay? Do you want like a glass of water? Do you like want me to like cuddle you or something? Like what do we want here? What do we want?
You're adorable.
Oh, thank you. You're retarded.
The sexual tension is fucking crazy.
I know, right? Yeah, I think I've done that. I think I've made my point here. So, what do you want to talk about, Orthodox, while we have the last few moments?
Have you ever tried heroin?
No, I haven't.
You should. It's a hell of a drug.
Nah, I'm good. I'll stick to alcohol.
All right, great time for closing thoughts, and we can get the fuck out of here. And I think I'm gonna go throw some jeans on and go hang out at a bar for 10
Hell
minutes.
yeah, there you go.
And then regret my decision and go home.
That's hot.
All right, let's go ahead and kick off with you, Effigy. Your final thoughts to the panel, sir.
Thanks for having me as always. I'm going to take this all the way back to right when I came on because I never got to address it. All the shit that Orthodox guy said about segregation is the dumbest, most ignorant piece of shit fucking bigot opinion I have ever fucking heard. He should be fucking disbanded from even being able to walk outside without a helmet for having opinions like that. No, black people were not better off
If you
pre-segregation.
can't dodge them, ram them, brother.
It's
Hold
the,
on,
the
it's his
dumbest
final
shit.
thoughts. Go ahead.
It's the
Evan.
dumbest shit to say that people were better before segregation. They weren't even allowed to have fucking jobs or take part in the economy in any kind of meaningful way until they were allowed to have civil rights. Like, it is the stupidest shit, and I'm just going to end on dunking on him that way. Y'all have a good night.
Sounds good to me. Thank you, Effigy. Alex, to you, sir.
So Sarah, thank you so much for letting me on. Sorry for my little hiatus. My only closing thought is this, like, no, there's no need for a draft anymore. No, not everybody should own a fucking firearm because we have shown that our country is completely irresponsible with firearms. I say this as a firearm owner. I think there are some people out there that need to exercise caution. Great rights come with great responsibility, essentially. Just like great power comes great responsibility, the whole 9 yards. I could talk about more, but I'll just bore everybody. Real quick, Sarah, I'm probably not going to be working anymore. I'm going to start going to school again, so I'll probably be available for more panels. Yippee. And last but not least, you can look for me on TikTok. I do a lot of stuff, and I'm working with a group called Misfit Formation, so you can look for us out there. TikTok, hashtag Misfit Formation. Let's go. Fuck ICE. I said it. Fuck ICE. All right, see ya.
Like the thing before the fuck ICE, gay as shit. I've heard you say the entire time I've known you. I'm glad you're having more free time. You and I need to dance one night.
Ooh.
Tango.
I like it.
Tango.
Like
see
it. Bye, Alex.
See ya.
I'm excited Alex is going to have more time with us. Ant, to you, sir.
Okay. Thank you for having me, Sarah. I'm sorry a little quiet tonight, but I explained earlier why that might be the case.
Because you
Anyways,
got
yeah.
salmonella from licking the like button.
No, no, no. I was telling you before I wasn't going to be entirely sober. I had a rough day yesterday, so.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, had to take care of myself. Anyways, tip your Sarah on your way out and fuck off.
Love it. Mr. Balderson, to you, please.
I don't know. Saturday, I have we did a real reunion show, pretty fantastic. If you're interested in occult things and whatnot, on weaving spiders' webs, and yeah, we had a guest come in, and it was a pretty fantastic talk. Other than that, Benjamin Balderson, I don't know what to say about tonight because I wasn't here for most of it. My wife, what do you got to say, honey? Like, let her talk. Night, guys.
I don't know what to say necessarily either. Great talk, guys. Yeah, it was a good panel, and I'd like to tackle that lab grown beef thing at some point in time on a more serious note, because it's not as simple as just interchanging little pieces that don't go through the same processes. And when we strip things out and we take ingredients that are the processes of industrial byproducts, yeah, and then we smash them together and say, oh, this is exactly the same. It's not. So that's just a synopsis. I would like to hit that hard.
Our health in America, and what a bunch of fat, sedentary, just fucking obese, not even fat. Look at John Candy in the fucking 80s. We thought that guy was fat. He's like the 80th fattest guy in fucking Walmart. He don't even make the top fucking 10%.
I'll leave it on the list for Monday. We'll run it Monday.
Perfect.
All right.
Bye, everybody. Encourage the ladies. Come on. Like, Etta was up here. Critical Review, Etta was talking, but the other Etta was not. I would love to have heard her voice. Texas Bully Mom, I'm rooting for you one of these days. And Lacey, I
Etta
was
Bolt came
disappointed
up?
you didn't show up tonight. Yes,
Yeah,
Etta Bolt.
Lacey needs to get up here just so I can stare at her.
Good night.
Good night, you two. Bones to you, sir.
Absolutely. So I think we've discovered through this panel that we're a little bit agnostic on what propaganda means and what moral terms we can apply to it, as well as whether segregation was wrong, which is very interesting. That was I wish we had talked about that more, because that would have been a fun topic to go through. It seems like we're also pretty divided on climate change, despite the evidence suggesting that we are actually causing climate change to happen today. Finally, no rights are absolute. There are limits. Supreme Court has limits to the First Amendment. So why can't we also have limits that are clearly defined elsewhere in the rest of the Constitution? This would also open up for things like 4A, but that'll be a topic for later potentially. And finally, you can find me on Twitch, YouTube, and now TikTok. I'm now attempting to stream on TikTok as well. And if you want to do 1v1 debates, you will find me on TikTok doing that once I get a following there. But either way, get bent.
Get bent. I like it. All right, ortho guy.
All right. Let me listen to YouTube real quick so I can get. Whoop. There he is.
Ugly, repeat things doesn't make them true. There is no limits on the Constitution.
He's
Freedom of speech.
Wait,
the right
wait,
to
hold
own and
on.
bear arms shall not be infringed. Thank you for having me, Miss Sarah. You have a very wonderful day. Be safe.
He's so mad. He's so ass mad.
Thank you, ortho guy. We are going to be rating Grid over at An Unreasonable Man.
I need to get in contact with ortho guys so we can have this discussion.
Be sure to go over there and throw so many
once I hold on, let me switch. Can I turn off this camera real quick? Hold on. What if? Hold on. Properties. Let's go. Let's do this. Actually, full cam. Here we go. Perfect. Does it switch to that as well? Hold on. Auto frame. Take that out for now. Perfect. So yeah, I think also one of my panels just fell over there. Somebody need to fix that. That's what I get for having cheap ass foam. But I don't know. That ortho guy seems like a complete retard, so he'd be fun to milk. And I need to pull the entire like debate from the gauntlet for this. I will probably upload it as a video as soon as I grab the stream footage, because this was fucking prime content, and I want to throw this onto other platforms for sure. So yeah, I'm probably gonna end stream here actually as well. So for those of us that have joined us, Lane Ling, you're definitely new here. Feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's Bones of Doom. Same thing with the Twitch. Follow that, and then also TikTok as well. I think let me check. I might be a different name on Twitter, but I'm not, or on TikTok. I think I'm still Bones of Doom on there. Yep, I am Bones of Doom on TikTok. So feel free to follow me there. I am starting to jump on to TikTok panels as well occasionally. And once I get new earbuds, because the ones that I have, the mic doesn't seem to work half the time. Either I get that or I just figure out a way to get my headphones to plug into my phone, which probably is the next step. Because I have a second set of headphones for that purpose, and I just need a fun little dongle for it. But yeah, thank you for joining stream, and hope to hear y'all again at some point. So peace. Woo.